Yeah, let's start it with that. Let's start it. Go. We're live.
I added it.
Oh, you
All
got
right.
it?
Second.
Yeah, we're live. So hello
You got
and
it, Andrew?
welcome
Oh, nice.
to the Arcade Hangout, episode number 102. I'm Orange Whip, one of your hosts for tonight's show, and we're a bunch of arcade collectors that like to meet once a week to talk about classic arcade.
Great timing. That was perfect.
Terry, you have
Hi,
glasses.
Orange Whip, and
If you have them, we're all wearing glasses tonight.
I feel so left out now.
I know, right?
So we have three pieces of business to do tonight's show. First one is our question of the week, which is a repeat question that our own MoktheMagicMan wanted to revisit quickly. I think it's going to be quick for some of us, and maybe some of us, we've done some longer, more pickups anyways. And we're also going to go over week 3 of our month-long Craigslist challenge. And we also have a game of the week again. We some of us played Dig Dug this past week. I played for about 10 minutes today. That was about all I could.
Right, I have up to squeeze myself.
I am hoping next week I can get a little bit more in. So, since Mock wanted to revisit this question, and he probably doesn't remember saying this, but this is, we have a separate chat thing that we do all the time, and it was on there, so that's where I stole it from, Mock. So he wants to know an update or a revisit to what is the longest / miles you've driven to pick up a game. So we're going to start off with Mock to see if his answer changed at all.
and it better have.
This is to me.
Yes.
I think I went to Santa Monica almost for my whitewater. That was like 2 hours or whatever. That's the farthest I've ever gone. But I'd go further. I think my limit is like 4 hours or something. I'd probably drive 4 hours. Because I was gonna get that the other Tron, and that was like almost a 4-hour drive. I was gonna do that.
One way.
Each
One
way,
way.
so 8 hour round trip.
8 hour.
8 hours. The brutal one, yeah.
And you got to
Yeah.
figure another hour to 2 hours while you're there, you know, loading,
Yep.
chatting, whatnot.
Yep.
It's called a rough night.
That should be a question. How long do you guys on average chat with people when you pick up a game?
Depends how hot they are.
You have to feel out the situation.
What's the limit? What's the limit that you would drive?
The BJ potential.
You get to tack that onto the question. What's the furthest and what will
come with a happy ending?
Because some people do it by miles, like, oh, I won't drive more than, miles, 100 miles, but I just do it by time, and because traffic in California, you got to take that into account.
Yeah.
When I came back, it took 3.5 hours to get back for that whitewater because the traffic hit right at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Ugh, it's horrible. So, yeah, that's mine. So I got to pass it along. How about Joel?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me to answer.
You don't travel, you just have everyone bring their shit to you.
Yeah, you ship everything.
Oh, yeah, I used to. I do these days, but there were days when I would drive for a game. It was for my Warlord's cocktail, and I drove 400 California miles, which turned out to be about 7.5 hours.
Round trip.
No, each way, because
Oh,
You came up Northern California somewhere. Then.
yeah. I went to went to that destination that shall never be named.
That's 400 miles each way for you? Oh, you're in San Diego.
Well,
I
he's
keep
up
thinking LA.
in he's up close to Yosemite.
Yes, I've been there too.
Yeah, so
Salmon.
it was about 7.5 hours in total. But the cool thing about it was I went to hang out. So went up there, we hung out all night. I stayed in a local hotel.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And then I came back the next day. But yeah. Hey, whatever you got to do to get a Warlord's cocktail, buddy.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
Man, I wish I had a bunch of cash when I was there.
It was
I had a lot of opportunities.
800-mile round trip, which sucked.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. Yeah. So that was it.
Wow.
I'm going to hand this off to Whip because I know he does some serious distances and drives to other countries for games. So, Mr. Orange Whip.
What? My longest so far is still the one I had before, but I do have an upcoming one that's going to be longer. So the longest one I've done so far is Vancouver to Spokane, which is about 8 hours each way. And that was a stay overnight trip. My next one kind of happened during the show last week, when somebody gave away his cell phone number in our chat room by mistake, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm going to be picking up a game from Mr. Steve Barbie at some point before the spring.
Never heard of him.
And that is going to be, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 12 hours each way, probably. But that is one of the differences, I guess. I mean, basically, once I'm out of... I mean, for me to get to the border is nothing. Like, I live 15, 20 minutes from the U.S. border. The Seattle area is the tough part, but basically, you hit Seattle and you hit the I-90 and just head west. And once you basically get out of that Seattle area, it's just nothing. It's it's 120 the whole way to
Swamps of Sand.
120 kilometers an hour, 70 or 80 miles an hour the whole way to.
Aren't you getting close to breaking even on the cost of just shipping a game though at that distance?
Yeah, I haven't
that's
talked to him yet. I don't know if he's watching, but I'm hoping I can maybe pick up more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus.
Or pick up some other ones along the way, which I've done actually going to Grinkers in the past. I have picked up games coming home before, so it's easier if I rent a trailer and I load up 3 or 4 games, then I'm laughing.
Right.
I've got video proof on Drip. He has multiples of a lot of games, so
that's what I figured. And for what he's offering the one for, I would imagine there's other ones that he would like to have some money for too. So
right.
Pick up a big blue cabinet from him for me, and then drop it off at my doorstep.
Just like
so that has to happen sometime before the spring. It's right now it's kind of iffy the mountain passes to get over there.
So what you're telling us, Whip, is you're finally going to get your Defender.
Yes, actually, I have a Defender sitting right behind the curtain here.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know attention to that man behind the curtain.
And the Stargate was one of my very first games I ever got, so I'm okay for the Defender side of things.
Yeah. Well, we knew about the Stargate.
Yeah, I actually had 2 Stargate. I also had a Stargate cocktail at one point too.
In America, we call that a joke.
Yeah.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Nobody ever wants to get a Defender. That's what I've heard.
Really? I want one.
I'm actually really wanting one now, but a converted one.
That's right.
Everybody wants one so they can not make it one.
Yeah.
Maybe paint it white.
Something nice like a Galaxian or a Xevious,
Or Pit Fighter.
Zaxxons.
Pit Fighter, Zaxxon, yeah.
The gambling game.
Karate Champ. Oh, I just said that.
Oh, I would take a Karate Champ.
So I will pass it since I know I think he had to go last week. We'll make him go a little bit sooner. Let's go to Andrew.
Fucking Rock Springs, Wyoming.
I was just thinking that.
What's that in miles?
Let's see.
How far is
Rock
hell?
Springs is...
Alexa, how far is it from Andrew's house to Rock Springs, Wyoming?
Shit.
That's only like 7 or 8 strides for 34K.
24 miles away by car.
Lightning strike.
Alexa, thank you very much for not putting my address in your response.
She actually.
That's where that stock photo came from.
Oh, there it is.
That's not funny.
Nice.
Is that a new paint job? When I
And
said
up until that point, it's van that never broken down once.
when I
Never.
said put flames on your van, dude, that's
It all
not.
takes is spontaneous combustion.
So it is true the original engine did have that own issue with
Echoes. Oh.
Did have a known issue with the
Who has a
fuel
laptop?
lines and catching fire, so that's very sad.
I believe that's called burninating.
Mm. Yeah, so Rock Springs, Wyoming
booze.
for Star Trek Next Gen and Forgotten Worlds.
For the win of sorts.
And actually, it should have been Salt Lake, but it was fucking Rock Springs.
Mhm.
If you're a Volkswagen fan owner, you should just own it like this guy does right here.
Fuck yeah! Look at that.
Yeah,
Drive it like that.
start just scraping along.
Right into
I know.
A car show all burnt up. That's pretty awesome.
a permanent part of the earth.
That's just a little patina.
I believe
that's all.
it's called patina, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it's sitting on carpet. Like that ground looks like it's about ready to give way.
Just adds character.
Yep.
That's one way.
I like the paint is literally like peeled off and burning off the picture. Yeah, so Rock Springs, that was it. Before that was 3 hours one way to Trinidad. Well, I think, to answer your question, I don't know if you heard the Alexa thing. So it's like 340, 350 miles, something like that.
Which way?
To Rock Springs. Yeah, so it's about not quite halfway to Grinkers. The bastards that I drive with always make us stop in Rock Springs now.
Stop and look at the world's largest beaver on the way.
Although, amusingly enough, I pulled up on Google Maps. Apparently, you can fly. They actually have an airport there. You can fly into Rock Springs from Denver for $200. Just in case anyone living in the Denver metro area.
That's $1,000 to fly back out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can get that cheap.
If you're new to this show, if you want to hear more about what that story is, there's your episode number right there, number 44.
Wow, 44.
That's one fun.
It seems like we would have had more episodes under our belt by that time, but I guess
Yeah,
not.
you're right.
What year was that? What was 44?
May 25th, 2006.
That was right before Brofest.
Yeah, we're soaring into the longest running live podcast about arcade games now.
Yeah. How come you didn't mention that when John was on?
That's what I said.
Talk about top of the pile.
Pretty soon here, we're gonna hit double digits over the second longest running live podcast.
No, 10 Pence has a lot.
Do they?
You have not like 98 or 99.
Oh, but it's not live though. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
And it doesn't have any English people on it, you know. So.
Just those Australians on our channel.
Carrie, can we go back to Carrie? It looks like she has 3 boobs there. What's going on?
Are you fixing a whack-a-mole?
I'm trying to fix a whack-a-mole.
It's a
kind of whack-a-mole?
Yeah.
Is it kind of like a whack-off-a-mole right now? Or
Yeah.
I had no idea what we were looking at right there.
I got tired of leaning forward, so I just had to just put it on my lap. I'm having trouble getting the spade connectors apart.
Oh, they're so cute. Can you put like little hairstyles on them or something? Like make them.
Is that the original whack-a-mole from the 80s with the that big
This
score
one's actually,
or no?
Yeah, well, this one actually isn't from the 80s. So this one is actually the first model after they stopped doing the air compressor. So it doesn't have the.
They actually had them in the 80s? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they had one at
I would have guessed
Showbiz.
like the late 90s they
Yeah, I
came
totally
out.
remember
No.
Showbiz.
I totally Showbiz. Yeah.
Whack-a-mole's wrote in the
Showbiz.
Really?
Oh yeah.
70s.
They
Yeah.
know-
Now that she
Yeah, they
says,
know
I
about
sort of
that.
remember there was air compressor. I kind of forgot
Right.
about that. It was
Yeah.
really noisy.
They were. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot about the
that's pretty
80s
close.
that Jack doesn't remember. Cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a preteen cocaine addict.
That's because you had all that Sacramento money. Yeah.
Beer just didn't taste good at that age.
What I was doing for quarters back then, it was just disgusting. I can't even talk about it. You guys have seen the Saturday Night Live skit, right? Somebody posted that on KLV a while back. So that it's in the 80s.
No.
Somebody did on Saturday Night Live. They did a skit about, and they were kids hooked on playing arcade video games. And they're like they're implying they're turning tricks for quarters to play games. It's hilarious, yeah. There's like a girl, like, it's probably a 10 or 12-year-old girl, like standing in the corner with their foot leaned up against the wall. and like trying to negotiate some quarters. But they weren't implying, they weren't saying anything about a sexual act. They were just talking about what they would do for quarters, kind of thing. Or they would they're all like
that would be shut down instantly today.
No, that's bad news. Can't go there these days.
No, okay.
We couldn't do the way we did the show like when we first started nowadays.
That's why
I think we're pushing the envelope with the whack-a-mole that carries all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the FCC is we're totally under the radar of the FCC. We're so big now, being the longest running live arcade podcast online.
With our tens of viewers.
Yes. All right, so who went last on the?
Me, yeah. So that's Trinidad. Sorry, Trinidad. That trip was 3 hours for the red tents. The 3 red tents I picked up down there.
One per hour.
And that was yeah. There you go. Well, except it was 2 hour. It was a round trip, 6 hours. So 1 for every 2 hours. Jim, you spoke last. You can...
I have a boring answer. I've never left the state to get a game. Actually, I've never driven more than an hour and a half. So there it is. No, I just local. No shipping yet.
Patience.
No,
it's all about patience.
Where did you?
Or laziness.
You should have a hotbed there of games. A lot of collectors and a lot of cheap games show up from time to time.
Minnesota's pretty good for inexpensive games. Patience. But there's a bunch of a fair amount of local people. I think
local? Was that local, Shan?
Yeah. Actually, that was very close to me. That was probably like a 20-minute drive, maybe.
Wow.
Jim, what did you pay for that originally? Can you share that information?
No, I'll post.
How long? What did you? Oh, that's good. We'll keep that.
Actually, you know what? I don't really give a shit. I mean, with thousands of non-viewers.
Well, how long ago did you buy it? What year did you buy it? Was that recent or 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
No, it was. I got that in 14 or 15. I can't remember. It was
wow. Back in the old days.
It'd be on Clav because I posted that I picked it up and people were a bunch of Minnesota dudes were like, oh fuck, because it was one of those things where I just happened to catch the seller at the right time on Craigslist. It was this little old lady, and she had a few games.
Yeah. Who only played it on Sundays.
Yes.
It would have been funnier if it was like
Sundays after church. Yeah. Also, they're the easiest ones to put.
Black lady that's had like a few games in her basement for she said 30 years or something, and decided to sell them. And I post this in. I'm looking right now. That's why I'm looking at, but on Clav. But I post in there, and all these Minnesota dudes pop up, and they're like, "God damn it! How I was like 10 minutes after that was posted, and I never got a response, and this and that." I just got really freaking lucky because I was late in the game. But I want to say it's like
the easiest ones to push down as well. When you've already put it in your truck, you just push them down, and then you get in the truck. You don't have to give them the money. You can just drive away.
I have to see if it'll fit my truck first before I can give you the cash.
Yeah.
And then look, a kitten. Poof. And then run.
What other games did the old lady have besides Shine? Was there a bunch?
She had like 2 other games because people had picked up stuff since she posted that, and she had some badly convert. She had a 3-player too, but it was a bad conversion, like nothing that looked decent at all.
Get it, Carrie.
Get it. That's what I was going to say. That face was great.
Yeah.
That face was very.
Well, I pulled one of the goddamn spade connectors apart trying to pull the other one.
Fucking moles.
I know.
Fucking moles.
Carrie's got a whack-a-mole. We're going to see a skee ball up along the wall next to the.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then one of them punchback games. Speedballs.
Oh, that'd be badass. Although you can't keep punching them, you just get one whack and then that's it.
Yeah.
And a wall of redemption prizes.
Yeah.
Yes. Erasers.
There's tickets everywhere. Claw machine in the kitchen.
Ticket counter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the refrigerator, it's like, oh, what do I want to have for dinner? Oh, I know. I'll go for the leftover chili. Put the quarter in.
I picked it up. Actually, I picked it up exactly 3 years ago, November 2nd of 202014. There we go.
Wow.
All right.
It's almost like an
And was
anniversary.
it
On the thread.
Was it working?
And I paid, and Dave, to answer your question, yeah, it was fully working. I got for $200.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's why I didn't feel bad about completely like going balls out restoring it, because I'm like, well, shit. I mean,
Dude, that's
by
nice.
today's standards. Yeah, it was. The thing is that when I picked it up, she had it turned on, and I don't know if the audio was just really quiet or not, but I couldn't remember hearing any sound. And I'm like, well, so I was already, before I restored it, I was already researching how to fix the sound on it. Apparently that happens a lot with the 440 stuff, the Exody stuff. But then we moved it in, me and my buddy Scott moved it into my apartment. I plugged it in, thing boots up, and the sound works. I'm like, sweet. Bonus.
You love it with
Did you was that the asking, or did you negotiate down to 200?
I think she was asking. Oh no, I didn't. She had posted in Craigslist a list of games that she had, and she said, and they weren't individually priced. It just said $200 to $500, and this was like her first time posting on Craigslist, because when I chatted with her, she was like, I wasn't expecting to get so many responses so quickly. This was all these people calling me, and no, she didn't list a number, so it was just like, no, she did. She emailed me back, posted her number. Yeah, it just never ends.
Wait.
Actually, the truth is, she was asking $100, but after Andrew's negotiation skills, Jim's negotiation skills,
you feel that one.
she got 200 out of him.
Just drink your cocktails.
No. So, anyways, she responded on the phone and said, because at first there was no number. We emailed. She responds to my email, and she wanted to talk for directions, and I was like, I was probably going to pay $500, and she's like, $200.
Jack just posted. Actually, she wasn't old. She was young.
Yeah.
Actually, she wasn't black. She was Native American.
Yeah. It was a man.
Actually, it was a 12-year-old boy.
We're good. Next, you can't say those things anymore.
And he actually went to pick up a running machine.
We don't have the subscribers. We're not G-rated.
You guys know what you're getting into.
So, anyways, yeah, $200.
That's amazing.
I don't want to derail Jim passing it off real quick, but maybe we, rather than rehashing the same question, we should ask the question: what was the shortest distance? Have we asked that one?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, the shortest distance is like you didn't go fucking anywhere; they brought it to you.
Well, no.
That you actually had to go and get a game.
Yeah, you travel, not like walking the end of your fucking driveway.
Yeah. Which is a schlep for Joel.
It is.
That's actually a bit of a turn.
I can answer.
Someone brought
really
it to the bottom of my driveway. I was like, no, I'm not interested. You have to bring it to the top.
Yeah.
I'll quickly answer and pass. My first game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was at the roller rink that was literally like less than 5 miles from my parents.
Nice.
So there it is. Yeah.
So should we go back over the people who already did them the longest?
No.
Okay. All right. No more questions.
Let's just change the question completely.
Just answer.
What's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
No red.
And the person who came up with the question is not even here, Mock.
Yeah, Mock.
Come on, Mock.
Oh,
His answer is probably the same for both. You know, he's only probably ever gotten one game.
Who has not gone?
One of us is 4 hours. Carrie hasn't gone.
Haven't gone. Buffett hasn't gone.
Buffett hasn't gone.
Dave hasn't.
Ma.
I'll dive in quick because I have a quick answer. I got a working
Hey, you can't
Tron.
interrupt. I didn't pass it to you, fuckhead.
I'm diving in. Working Tron and a Dig Dug, less than a mile from a house, $400. Boom.
Damn.
Boom.
You win. All right, Carrie, go.
All right. Closest was Time Soldiers. which was probably the next town over. So it was probably around 5 miles, I guess. That was $50. And the longest distance for my own game, as opposed to delivering unto others' games, would be Orange County to pick up Tales from the Crypt. That was a good 400 plus miles.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good. Jim and I went together and we picked up Zybots along the way.
The scary guy with the Spider Hillary on his.
Oh Jesus, he was a piece of work.
Spider Hillary.
We got out there.
Yeah, it was Halloween last. It was Halloween time last in 2016.
Yeah, before the election.
Yep, and it was before the election, and he had his Halloween decorations.
Until then I'm like, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, quickly.
Kind of like an Obama eats babies type of situation.
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, and he really liked his Hillary spider.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I always wanted to get my fucking game and leave.
He was pretty proud
of
it.
Yeah, probably liked his truck nuts as well, huh?
Yeah. And it was out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, Hicksville. Anyway, won't go into that. So there you go. That was
weird ass windy roads.
Yeah, exactly. In the dark, we were running late. It was super fun.
Super fun. Running late? What?
I know. Well, mainly it was going to his place because it was like it seemed like it would be a relatively quick little jaunt off the highway, but it was all these crazy windy
I remember
roads.
that because I'm like, oh, it's only like 2 miles away, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, it's all these windy ass slow roads.
2 miles of rabbit warren.
Yeah, no lights. Yeah, exactly. It was,
that shit.
That was good. Yeah, that was stressful and not a whole lot of fun. And we didn't have the dog with us that time, at least, right? No, we did not have the dog.
Wait, no, we picked up Zybots and we picked up Tails. We had Zadie with.
Yeah, we did. So we even had the dog with. Oh, that's right. I was walking her while you guys were hefting Zybots into the car, into the truck. I had a rental truck.
When you turn up and the first thing he says to you is, "You sure got a pretty mouth."
Yeah.
He said that to me. That's why I'm like, we need to get out of here.
And he showed me.
I was like, no, man, my lips are all chapped. You don't want this.
I tell you, man, especially with that beard, you look like a well-coiffed porn star's vagina. That's what your mouth reminds me of.
Hope it's not Taco Tuesday.
All right, I'm gonna pass this shit off to. By the way, your dough looks great in the background there, Joel. Very nice.
Oh, hey, who got that for me?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Oh, yes. Yeah.
I even tried it out. I made sure that the game, worked appropriately.
Speaking of driving long distances for games, yeah.
Right. Exactly. I dropped that one.
Another one I think Carrie has us all beat on delivering or picking up games from the most people.
Yeah.
Within our the most karma points. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of karma
you guys
points.
Over.
Yeah, but those points.
Shit, because I'm always fixing all her crap.
That karma came through in the end because look at your broken whack-a-mole you've got now. So it was all worth it.
It's all paying off.
That's it. Let's see how many more spade connectors I can rip apart with my bare hands.
I'm sure you already have a list for me this weekend.
Small list, actually. Mostly I'm waiting for parts for my own self so I can fix my shit. I'm just in parts purgatory right now.
I went ahead and dropped off a few machines at her house earlier today. So you're going to fix those for me this weekend too, right, Jim?
Yeah.
As soon as you vectorize the Toki marquee and have one of those.
Mock saw it. He's the man.
There's very little on my to-do list.
Mock didn't have to wear glasses before he started on that artwork, but...
All that's left, actually, the marquee. I took the bulb out of my the Toki because the light I don't have a marquee on it because I don't have a marquee that fits, and so the light just blinds me. So I'm like, oh, I should just take this fucking thing out, otherwise I can't play the game.
You could put a Robotron marquee in there.
Then I have to buy one.
Oh, what? You don't have 1,000 marquees? You should be more like Whip.
I got a working one for you.
Don't go there.
Oh, snap.
Oh, he already.
Hey, Jimbo.
Funny. We're fine. We're good.
You broed out. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have the bezel finished before the end of the week, or at least by the end of the week. So
Sweet. I'll have to have
That's cool.
send that off to Rich.
group,
Maybe
like a JPEG of it, and then you can tell me if you need me to move stuff around or something's in the way, or because I have stuff.
I like. Is that like a?
bit.
I couldn't tell because you took a picture of your monitor, right? You didn't do like a screenshot. So
That's just a
I
picture
couldn't
monitor.
tell. Is it like that orange that the side art
Yeah,
has? Like, okay, that's awesome.
but that's I'm just playing around with colors right now, so we'll see. I might do a couple different versions and then throw that into the group, and then everybody can kind of look at it, and you can. I mean, it's up to you, Jim, but yeah,
I think it looks sweet already. Like I like
let's get in there. You just on early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, so I've got the let's see.
Whoa! I just threw up.
For people that don't know that are listening to the show, I'm recreating the a redraw of the side art and creating a custom monitor bezel, sort of like in the vein of Mappy or Zookeeper, where you see like graphics integrated into the sides.
It looks nice.
They go all around the
yeah, I
bezel.
saw some of that you were doing. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks super. Can I make actually a quick suggestion on it?
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
No.
No. Absolutely. Anyway. So I wouldn't put.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm 42 hours in. I would
let the man speak.
I'd love your opinion. Fuckface.
My first comment
Yeah,
looks like a
fuck face to it.
I think I know what Andrew is actually going to say before he even says it.
So you guys have that link.
Say it. Say
Sorry,
it.
Andrew.
Maybe not. I could be wrong.
You guys are dicks.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
wait,
wait. Let me clarify this. The only reason I say that is because Andrew's a designer and he's wanted to say that to every single fucking client he's ever had to work for.
Andrew, my guess is that you were going to suggest not spilling the graphics over the curved area.
Oh no, actually, my suggestion would be not to have the name of the game in the bezel.
Oh, don't have the name Toki at the top?
Yeah, I mean, because like most bezels don't.
Right about that.
Yeah, most bezels don't actually have the name of the game in the bezel.
Yeah, I can turn that off. That's just like I said, it's sort of like a work in progress. So
yeah, fill that with the artwork for the game, but the bezels don't have the titles, unless the marketing is.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot. It was funny because I had no idea in my head, other than the curvature of the inside edge. I had no idea like what to expect, other than I was thinking, oh well, there should be a fair amount of orange because that's like what the side art mostly has.
Yeah.
But when you had the girl and the fist and the ape and stuff, and they're still
A girl and a fist and what?
and a rabbi and a priest and no, they all go into a bar, and but spilling on the inside of the bezel reminds me a lot of a Nintendo bezel.
Oh yeah, like a Super Mario Brothers or something like that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I just
or Mario Brothers. Yeah,
I was just curious. I'm just curious
I
if
thought it
that's
would look cool
at
that
all.
way. So.
I do too.
As long as it doesn't secure gameplay, then I would say definitely do that. I always love separating the boundaries. Yeah.
And while you're taking art direction as well, you should put a waterfall in because people like waterfalls. And
can you do the logo in cornflower blue?
Bigger, yeah. Make the logo bigger and
cornhole blue.
You know, just make it more like the Apple website. Can you make it more like that?
I'm making it all white.
I want it to be,
Starbucks
clean.
website. Yeah.
Be a big white bezel with a big Apple icon.
Clients from hell.
Yeah.
No, it looks sweet, Mock. I'm excited. I think it'll be awesome to have that on when that's done. Have Rich print that on glass
or diamond plate
so that I can't see the screen at all.
Well, you drill holes in it. Duh.
Draw holes in it?
It's like a Toki peep show.
Now
Perfect.
Two holes
It
in
adds
it.
to the challenge. What are you talking about?
That's right. And then the flashlight in the coin door, and boom. Bob's your auntie's.
Johnny Hardon awaits.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pass this shit.
Pass that
Get out of
shit.
here.
Like I feel like I'm holding the baton. I'm passing it. I'm passing it to Buffett.
Oh, awesome.
Pass the lawn cigar.
Yeah. Well, my shortest is somewhere between 10 and 20 miles for a couple things. And then I've got two, one about a 40 and one about a 48 hour.
Wow.
Round trip.
Damn.
Yeah.
Buffett,
So-
that was the vaguest answer I've ever heard. You gave us a range, and then you didn't even name the game.
games,
What the
yeah.
fuck, dude? Come
But
on.
it was a couple games and I had somebody else with me. I was picking up some and he was picking up some.
Also, you didn't tell us your favorite color.
Oh, it's green.
Oh, another green. Nice.
You seem like a green kind of guy.
I do. So, but no, I don't remember what the short ones were. There's a couple different ones over the course of the last 15 years, so I just don't remember. But the longer ones, some of them had games that we weren't expecting to go get. We just found random people at I think we were at Arby's, and we talked to the manager, and he had some that he wanted to get rid of. So we got them on the way back. I went all the way out to somewhere in Ohio. It was one of the longest trips, was Ohio, and then we went around to Washington. No, we went to West Virginia first, and then we went around to Ohio, and then we came back around to Washington, PA, and then we went to my other property for something, and then we came back home. So that was one of the longest. So, and we did that trip about twice for different reasons, for different games.
And what kind of sandwich did you have at Arby's?
Large roast beef.
Good choice.
Do you like the horsey sauce?
Sweet tea?
Put horsey-
Sweet tea on the
horsey-
side?
No, I don't like
sauce
horsey
on
sauce.
that?
All I like is the Arby's sauce. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of their horsey sauce. I do like the regular Arby's sauce though.
Yeah, I put the Arby's sauce on my burger and my fries. I only like the curly fries. I don't
Is
like
this just the beef or the beef and cheddar?
no, just roast beef. I don't like the beef and cheddar.
You don't like the onion bun?
I don't mind the onion bun. I don't like the cheddar.
Are we talking about the Wild Wings takeover?
We're getting there.
Now,
Okay.
the onion bun more farty or less farty than the regular bun? What do you think?
And on a road trip,
I don't know, but it's fun either way.
Yeah, on the
Who
road
posted
trip,
the
it's
Asperger's
obviously
picture?
especially if you're sharing with friends.
Oh,
It's fun for me, but not fun for them. So, but I get a kick out of it. That's all that matters.
What kind of temperature was the road trip? Did you have to share body heat with said friend?
Well, if you're in a vehicle with Buffett, you're pretty much guaranteed to share body heat.
Right. Who wouldn't want it?
One was an
So
SUV, the
cuddly.
other was my pickup truck. So,
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bench or double seat?
crew cab.
Crew cab. Yeah, but in the front, is it a bench? Because for cuddling, the bench is best.
No, the bucket seats.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's like a
Even if
distance.
you're slightly out of arm's reach with Buffett, you can cuddle up with his beard. He'll keep you warm.
Yeah, you just pull the beard right over there and
Yep.
make friends with the badger that lives in there.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan.
And there went the conversation.
But either way, had somebody to talk to, went around, had some good times, found some good deals on the way, picked up some good deals on the way, Yeah. I got things I didn't know I was going to get, and, he picked up things that he didn't know he was going to get. And
Well, that's how all the best relationships start.
yeah. But it was a fun trip. Both of them were fun trips. Get to talk and see new things, as you go.
New things. Just a
somebody-
quick
Somebody say nude
Whip.
things.
Whip, can you broadcast your image for a second? Can you just
My
broadcast your screen?
What, this
Look at
one?
that T-shirt. No, don't. Just leave the T-shirt. Let it fall. Look at that.
Duck down a little.
Look at that. Yeah. Now stick your tongue out. Now eye contact. Look at me.
There we
Look
go.
at me.
We need the sound effects, Jimbo.
Go on, ready?
Oh, that
Oh, it was good.
He's got to work harder than that for that. Come on.
All right. I'll cue it up. Get ready. Show us your skills.
You ready, Orange Whip? Wait for the music, Orange Whip.
Let's do this.
There we go.
I have to present. Hold on.
It's whip time. Are you ready for the whip? Hey now.
The hair on the arms is just like topping it off.
That would have been funny.
I'm going to bed. See you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. I'm sure you are.
That's one for the spank bank, right?
A spank bank.
Time to make
Just mind your eye. Yeah.
Mm.
You guys are disgusting.
Yeah, y'all have a dirty mind. I'm telling you.
I was just wondering if that glowed in the dark.
Oh, this is a good Irish whiskey.
Well, who hasn't gone? Who's the last
Dave.
person?
Dave didn't go, did he?
Mr. Dave.
No, I didn't go.
To the bathroom.
Shortest would be about, I'd
2
say,
inches.
2 to 3 miles for Centipede. And most of them, I'm local, like Jim. Like, I don't really, I think the longest is an hour, and I've done it twice. I went to Rochester once. I'm in Buffalo, so Rochester's like an hour, and I went to Bodeanny once for the Prager.
I
And the
swear,
other ones are
Minnesota has all the same
local.
cities as New York. We have Albany, Buffalo, and Rochester in Minnesota.
Yeah, I always see that Rochester, Minnesota. That's why I always think, oh, Rochester, Buffalo, or New York, or Minnesota. Yeah. But that's it. I'm local. That's it. That's all I got.
Well, you got
Whip
more
back
than
to you.
that. Well, right you are, Ken.
Did everyone go?
Yeah.
No.
No. I thought Gak went, right? Like, I thought you were like the first one.
Yeah, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
But talk about the crazy stuff.
All right.
I gotta
I'll bring up the rear.
I gotta
I'll bring
go
up
to
the rear.
That's right.
Oh, I
Gak-
like when you bring up the rear.
Just like the 80s.
You bring up the rear, I'll get your
Yeah.
front.
Oh, that one requires a roll of quarters.
What was
just
the
a
one that
couple
Andrew likes?
quarters.
The deep one? It gets me every time.
That's the button shaker.
That's fart number 10 on my
That was
soundboard.
like the Barry
That
White.
one throws the
font.
spine out of alignment a little bit.
That's the Barry White fart. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think I said my farthest already, which it wasn't really a planned one, but Eagle, Idaho, for Cheyenne a couple years ago. So I guess
for
I can't really
Cheyenne.
count that one because it wasn't planned. So it's probably a tie. The
I
furthest
don't
I've
think it
gone.
matters. We didn't specify that. I mean, if it was,
Yeah.
What's in Eagle, Idaho, anyway? There's nothing
Yeah.
there.
Torin in Eagle. So I sold my iRobot to Grinkers, and then of course immediately have to spend like as much of the money as possible to buy other stuff. And
naturally. Well,
Maybe a little bit more.
I can't remember who asked me. I think it was actually Torin said, "Hey, so what games are you looking to get?" And I was like, "I'd love to have one of those XD 440s at some point." And he's like, "Well, I happen to have a Cheyenne I want to sell." So so I wound up buying that from him and hauling it back. So that's
you still have it?
no. I wound up selling it a couple years later, about a year and a half later. But now I have a chiller too. So
No, that's right.
yeah, because I
That's
realized
that's a tall cabinet, right? The tall.
the Cheyenne was a tall one. My chiller, I believe, is shorter.
Oh, interesting.
It's shorter than the. I don't know what it was originally. My cabinet, the current cabinet.
Right.
But but yeah, the farthest I've driven for like let's say Craigslist deals was about 3.5 hours each way, and one of them was the same place that Griffin got his Warlords at, and mine was and it was on Craigslist, but I had actually talked to him about it about 6 months prior, and but yeah, so it was a Spy Hunter cockpit, a complete cockpit, and then he also had the front half of another Spy Hunter cockpit, and it was a bundle deal. You had to take it all. And he had it on Craigslist for this too, so I don't think it's any like secret. It was $250 for everything, like just take it all. And so I contacted him. I already had his text.
Did you take it all, Gak?
I took it all. Yeah.
For
So
$250.
Did you tag?
So
and that
I've got
and that one,
$250, Gak.
again with my awesome local buddy Tubular Chris. I've done many trade deals with him, trades of parts for labor. And so I just said, here, you can have the front half of this other one if you just make sure my entire one is working correctly. And actually, it was in pretty good shape. He said the monitor didn't even need a rebuild. It was in really good shape. There was I think maybe he rebuilt the power supply or something. So it wasn't a whole lot of work he actually had to do to get his free front half. But
Nice.
yeah, so and then I had offers to buy other games there, but it wasn't going to fit, and I didn't have the cash flow. So,
No.
but yeah. And then the closest I've gotten a game, I'll say Craigslist again. The closest was about maybe a mile from here, which I still own the game, and I don't think I'll ever sell it. Too many good memories.
Must be a
with it.
Defender.
Defender.
Yeah, is my Super Sprint. So my Super Sprint I got for it was really less than a mile from here, and I think the guy was asking $300 for it, and I offered $200, and we met at $250. And that was
that's a three player, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Championship is a 2. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Championship is the paperboy cabinet.
So that
Okay.
of all the games in my collection, that one has had the most hours on it between me and my son. So.
After
yeah.
seeing at CAX the one where they had done
giant
like a
screen.
show place.
Yeah,
They did,
that's
like,
the
a
Super Earth
showcase
plant.
one
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That looked
Super Earth.
that looked pretty damn sweet.
Yeah. And you can actually
that game should
shoehorn
have at least a
a
25-inch monitor. That always
So
bothers me about that game.
Yes, I don't know. It's like they cheaped out. They must
Big
have
ass
just a
order.
fortune back then. A 25-inch medium resolution monitor had to have been a fortune back in like 86,
Yeah.
85
true.
when it came out. But it's certainly sized for it. Like I picked up from Lewis, Arcade Danger. He picked them up for me, 2 25-inch medium res monitors. So if mine ever like totally dies, I can drop a 25-inch in there if I want to. But
Well, that
it'll
bezel
fit.
is ginormous. I mean, there's like this
Yes.
much border on
Yeah,
I know.
you'd have to do some like design work to redesign the bezel to fit a 25,
Yes.
though, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that would be totally fucking worth it.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it would be really well suited to that cab. Definitely.
Right. Yep.
Wait, so and
That
then the one they have at CAX is a 32?
It might be a 39.
Oh, wow.
It was like a off-road Thunder, one of those, some other off-road, like a 4-wheel drive one. It's a huge monitor. And yeah, they basically
Off-road challenge,
unbolted
probably.
the head off of the Super Sprint, and then separated it like as if it was a pedestal.
Right, like a showcase. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. But
Yeah, no, that game is fucking awesome. I remember you and I played that for a while. Yeah.
Yep.
I've always been
And,
tempted to put a 25-inch medium res in Paperboy
Yeah. Yep.
because, I mean, medium res, you can do it. You can get away with it.
I
Well,
told
and
Carrie
25
about
would
this.
probably be easier to find than a 19.
I told Carrie about this when she
Right.
came out here. One of my dreams to do a custom Paperboy. You did your custom Paperboy with all the diamond plate and whatnot. Mine is picture, and this is what I think how it should have been done correctly back in the day to give it proper
prop cycle
treatment. Yes.
I love the fact that people always get stuck on the diamond plate. They never
Yeah, I
mention
know,
the
right?
fact that it was like signed by every developer.
I know, right? The little plaques all around, right? Yeah. But so take a 720 cabinet, basically, the exact same cabinet, and the control panel, and just put the Paperboy handlebars on the control panel, and
That'd
then
be sweet if they stuck out like that.
and then retheme all the artwork on the whole cabinet for Paperboy.
That would be
And-
pretty badass.
You
I
can
think
keep
that-
the-
I
you
think
can
I
keep the
actually
jam
agree with
box.
that.
And then
Because those handlebars would just the bars
Yes,
would
it'd be
stick out.
perfect.
It
Yeah.
looked awesome.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's actually about
Well,
looking
the
at
prototype, the prototype. I think there was actually 2 or 3 prototypes, is what I heard. But I've seen one at CAX that
11.
Atari Scott had that he sold to a guy in Tennessee. But that was a Return of the Jedi cabinet.
It was a 3-box. It was a 3-box cabinet, and It's not a Return of the Jedi because it doesn't have the high box at the bottom of the cab. It doesn't have a high pedestal.
I don't remember the bottom part, but I know
myself.
the metal pieces on the sides that are, like on a Major
Yeah,
Havoc,
very
they have
similar,
fins on them.
like a Major Havoc type of look.
But they didn't have the fins, and they were the same blue color as a Return of the Jedi, the prototype.
There were 11 of those made.
11, okay.
Yeah.
So,
that's
but
like
yeah,
that's
anyways,
just like
that's, there you go.
Oh, sweet.
So it
Because
is
that's
thick at the
how
bottom.
Super Hang-On's like that. The handlebar, it's a thin profile. The handlebars stick way out on the sides.
Yeah.
I think that's way better.
But to me, it would be the 720 cabinet. So you have
That's
this
a Firefox
25 monitor.
It is. So
Firefox,
it does
yeah.
have
It's
the
got
high.
the volume controls right here.
Right.
It does have the
does
high
have-
tech on it.
I've got an empty Firefox cabinet sitting here. That'd be badass to put in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the white sides.
That was the Super Sprint. Other than that was, but that wasn't a Craigslist deal. Dan, a friend of mine that's a collector, he went to the last Cox or Springfest also. He's literally walking distance from my house. I think Harry wound up with that cabinet. It was a Tato converted to, what was it? Altered Beast.
Johnny Hardon.
And that was pretty much walking distance from my house, so a quarter mile maybe. Yeah.
All right.
So
Jack, last question. What are you drinking tonight?
And what's your favorite color?
Well, it's empty, but I was drinking a Velodrome by Bike Dog. Bike Dog is a Sacramento local brewery. And that's
Okay, so what are you going to be drinking? More important.
My next one is actually.
Oh, that's a nice.
Bud Light.
That was a good one.
I'm not going to get on politics, but it says "Make America Juicy Again." So it's a hazy New England style India Pale Ale by Heretic, which I think is out of the Bay Area, Fairfield,
That
California.
sounds good, but it does not trump my beer.
Oh,
nice. Oatmeal stout. Yeah.
That's
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, you can't
messing
drink that out
around.
of the bottle though. Come
I
on,
tried
don't
and
put
true
that
from Dave from Buffalo, Bud Light.
Hey,
I have to drink it out of the bottle. I'm all scruffy.
Ooh, look at that.
You gotta.
Dave from Buffalo. Just want to say, this one's to you, buddy.
Wow,
God
unbelievable!
damn it, Dave! Every time I see a Bud Light,
Quarter, we have a
I still
quarter.
think of Grinkfest 3 and how much
I know.
wanted that sign will
think of
haunt
that
my
too.
dreams.
I just feel
does.
bad because you brought it all that way. It was
I
broken.
spent so much fucking time packing that shit on my bag, and it had a hairline fucking crack. And that was my introduction to John. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing in here? What? Oh, I think it's a transformer problem. Like, God damn it! Just,
Do you mind if I film this?
yeah, I know he should
And
have.
by the way, Dave Elope is in our chat. He's the one that made the custom sweatshirt, right?
Yeah.
The Arcade Hangout sweatshirt?
Yep.
That was Dave Elope, yeah. So, cheers, Dave Elope. I'm still finishing up my video edit. It's taken me weeks.
Yeah, can I have one more question for you?
Okay, go for it.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Who's your daddy?
What?
Your daddy.
What's your favorite color?
What does he do?
I'm not sure what that is.
God damn it!
Kindergarten cop.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys just mentioned Tato cabs before.
These are my lasers.
Sitting here the other day when I brought Arkanoid in, which is in a Tato cab, and it's not far from Zookeeper, and they both have a similar layout. They have the main control right in the middle of the control panel, and then you have the two buttons,
The start buttons are on the
right-handed
front.
either
Oh.
side. And there is like no consistency at all between the designs of the control panels and the cabs and so on and so on. When you look at Zookeeper, the joysticks in the middle and the jump buttons are either side, but they're like higher than the vertical plane of the joystick. And then you look at Arkanoid, spinner is right in the middle, and then the buttons are either side, and they're exactly aligned. You know, it's just like there's no consistency at all in the design of the cabs. And you were talking about Gak was talking about how Chiller versus what was it? Chiller versus what?
Shan.
and how it's just like, oh no, the chiller cab was shorter. You know, it's just like everybody just made a cab. They were like, fuck it, I don't know, we'll just make a cab, and this is where we're gonna. There's no consistency in the production at all between games.
Yeah, well, I'm sure at the height of production, it was like they're having 2 or 3 vendors building cabinets and subcontractors and
just getting
prices and turnaround times.
Yeah.
I think
all
build,
that.
Build a cabinet, do a line of Coke. Build a cabinet, do a line of Coke.
Right. Yeah.
right.
Do any of you guys follow Arcade Jason at all on YouTube?
Oh,
I'm subscribed to him.
Where's that guy out of?
I think he's out of Ohio, isn't he? Because one of the guys that picked up one of my games, he knows him, and he also has a fire escape as well.
He made a 36-inch vector monitor on his latest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looks totally awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you'd put it in, but it looks
36-inch. Wow.
Some sort of pedestal, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I wonder if
saw that video too. I think it's amazing.
Would that draw more or the same kind of power draw or whatever?
Well, it's a 6100 chassis. He just modified it a little bit to, I guess.
It's like you have to crank up stuff to make it work
and stuff to make it fill out the screen more, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, it might do a little bit more, but it probably wouldn't be too much more. It's nice to know that you can make stuff work if you want it to work. Because I remember for years everybody's trying to get a 25-inch vector monitor going so you can stick it in a Star Wars cockpit that people put 19 inches in back in the day. But now here's guys making like 36-inch vector monitors.
Yeah, as long as you get the tube with the right deflection angle,
yeah,
you can do it.
I strive for that every day.
The right deflection angle, very important. No, I mean that when I rebuilt mine, the tube came out of a Zenith 1984 cabinet TV, which I got from Craigslist for like $50.
Yeah.
I sold my Star Wars cockpit. It had a 19-inch in it, and the guy, he was one of the first ones to do the 25-inch swap, and he actually found a stash in Seattle, some warehouse had like dozens of 25-inch tubes, brand new, and they're all the right deflection for a Star Wars cockpit.
Yeah, you just got to find the angles because there's 90-degree deflection and there's 100-degree deflection.
Yeah.
And I think you need 100. I can't remember now. It's been a long time since I've followed the Des Baz thread on all of that. But I ended up actually putting original Ampliphone boards in it because the one I built, I just could never get it to stop wobbling. The vertical lines.
All right, who's drinking? What is this arcade talk?
Boring.
Jesus Christ.
Who's going to show the nipples first?
Let's move on to the next topic so we can get that done and over with.
Go.
Yep. So the next one is week 3 of our month-long challenge. So who had any Craigslist updates?
I had nobody respond.
I've had a few, but I told Carrie this the other night. I'm kind of Craigslisted out with this thing. I'm not feeling it because I'm not eager to buy. And so I feel like I'm almost scamming. I'm not scamming people, but I feel like I'm false advertising because it would take, I have a very short list of stuff that I would actually go out and pick up.
All right. No, I'll agree with you there because I'm in the same boat where it's like, I mean, I'm not interested in anything that have been offered to me, but all it would take be one fucking game on your list.
Right, Jimbo, like a pinball you want, and some guy says he wants $800 for it.
Right.
And you know it's worth like $4,000.
Or you have a friend that wants something too. I mean, you could pass.
But the thing is that like I'm saying
no.
I know, yes, but at the same
time, how many times have you gone to Craigslist and tried to buy something and someone was like, I already sold it, or nah.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different than being like claiming I buy arcade machines and you don't specify and people are like, oh, this is like a commercial thing. They're gonna just like pick up whatever I have to offer.
It doesn't say you buy all arcade machines.
Right.
No.
Or I pay top dollar for any piece of
Right.
shit in the garage.
Yeah, but it rubs me the wrong way. Because like
Yeah.
I've had a lot of responses, a lot.
But
Like
just nothing you're interested in at all.
every time I renew the ad, I probably get 5 responses in a given day.
Oh,
And-
wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn.
And I just had one. I told Carrie about this one. I just had one where a guy said he had, he must have thought that I was looking for newer shit, but he's like, I've got 7+ game or upright video arcade games. Call Scott at blah 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 number, and it said like in the ad it was like including golden tea. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that, but I didn't want to. Honestly, I didn't want to call this because right now my money's tied up in other stuff. It's tied up. There's Christmas. There's all these other things. I am in no position to really buy stuff. Even if it came like, okay, on the rare occasion that it would be like one of 5 games that I would bite on, like the odds of that are so slim. I don't feel good about doing this because people want to sell their shit. Like it rubs me the wrong way. It does. I don't. And so like I can read.
Yeah, it's one of those you either have to consider it as like a business transaction, or you certainly. I mean, we all do. We have a emotional attachment to our collections and games, and feeling what we're doing is right. But you have to treat it as like a business transaction. I think doing it this style. Right.
and the way right now, like my priorities are elsewhere. Arcade stuff, honestly, I've got projects going on right now, and it doesn't like bode well with me. I just don't
put ornaments on the Christmas tree, get some lights. I got other stuff.
Mark is looking kind of scary right there. I don't know what's going on.
He looks like
he's in F society now.
What's going on, Mark? What's the deal there?
He looks like the black guy from
now
Spider-Man. The guy that electricity guy.
When your rebel friends.
The deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Only knew that.
Oh wait, no.
That's gonna be the
show. I had foreseen.
I like the bit where okay, yeah, let's see it. Dave Lowe. Shout out to Dave Lowe.
Ah, nice.
Calm, game on. Great fest. Woo!
Keep calm and game on.
Yep. Dave Lowe, that's an awesome sweatshirt. We all
Nice.
love it. I'm very jealous of Fox.
It's cozy.
that He got it.
Yeah, I think
We love that stuff. Anyone else out there that feel free to give us some freebies?
Give us free shit.
You make yourself more my servant.
I love the robot chicken version where Darth Vader calls him up crying about stuff, or and he's trying to order a turkey sandwich or something.
Yeah.
That's my avatar killed me, by the way.
Is that the same robot chicken where Darth Vader is calling the Emperor?
Yeah.
After that, and he's like, what the hell is an aluminum falcon?
Right. Yeah.
It's the firepower of this fully armed and operational battle station.
We're only
I
like
like
a
the
couple
interviews
weeks away
with
from
Sir Ian
next Star Wars
McDermott. The interviews with him, like the recent interviews with Sir Ian McDermott that played the Emperor, and fans will be like, do the voice, do the voice, do the voice. And he'll be just talking, and he sounds like he's just like this great, well-educated, individual.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, and it was great working on this set, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, now witness. And he just all of a sudden turns and he's like, you have to, I put a frog in my throat, and it's like, it's just hilarious.
Have
awesome. He goes
crazy. Any US watch the IT crowd? The English.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a while ago.
I saw an interview with the guy who plays Moss. There it is. There you go.
The guy who plays Moss was the new Gadget Man after Super Fry.
So I saw an
Go,
interview
go,
with a guy who
gadget
played
penis.
Moss on that show, and he is like the coolest, like laid back, like jazz listening, sexiest motherfucker on the planet. Like in real
Would
life,
you do him?
he's just like this super laid back, chill, confident, kind of almost suave kind of guy.
69, dudes!
That's for you, Gak, in the chat.
You wouldn't believe it. The contrast between him and his character that he plays on that show, and I think he writes for the show as well. I think he's kind of on the writing team as well.
Well, he took over for Stephen Fry on the Gadget Man, the UK show.
Oh, did he? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Seen that. But he's like, talk about different from your on-screen persona. It's just unbelievable. If anybody who has never watched the IT Crowd, you need to stop everything you're doing. Don't go to work.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta watch the IT Crowd.
Yeah. You have to watch the IT Crowd. If you haven't seen that show,
Have you tried turning it off and on?
Quite possibly.
Restart.
If you're in any kind of tech, whether it be in hobby or whether it be in your career, you have to watch this show.
And I recommend Italian for Beginners. That episode, it's amazing.
Oh, Italian for Beginners is fucking hilarious.
So funny.
But also, like the first, there's that in the first few shows, there's that one scene with Moss where there's fire in the office. Remember that when something catches fire in the office and he has to deal with the fire?
Holy shit, Andrew! You're drinking beer out of a fucking bottle. I thought
Bud Light, baby.
Well, you don't want them cockroaches to get inside.
So you're anticipating no Christmas bonus this year? Is that what you're showing us?
Hey, speaking of Christmas, are we doing the show? Are we doing?
This is
I know that
leftovers from
we'll be
Thanksgiving.
doing the show on the 19th, which is a Tuesday. Are we doing the 26th, the day after, or are we
Good
canceling?
Lord, no.
No.
Oh, the day after Christmas?
It's a holiday up here.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Oh, that's right. It's Boxing Day. You guys go out and bam, bam, hit each other.
It's our Black
Yeah,
Friday.
the fire's nice the rest of
What's
the
that
time.
all about?
Go kill them snakes.
It's our Black Friday.
Why's it got to be about
Were you
color?
racist? Why you gotta drop the beat on us? Wait.
So, by the way,
Andrew, here it comes. Andrew, ready?
Oh, you're pouring it in the Guinness glass. Oh my gosh.
I always do.
Oh my god, my mind's gonna blow.
People are going to start picketing in front of your house.
Wait, what's wrong with Guinness?
Yeah.
Because it's black?
I was going to say the other way around. Yeah.
Black is back.
So, did anybody else have any Craigslist?
I did, but Jimbo started us off on such a fucking downer. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I bet you asked like one person.
Sorry guys, I'm just not into it. You know, I like
fuck arcade game.
That's a perfectly fun segment. It's, slam dunk there, dude.
Hey, fuck.
Arcade games are stupid.
Okay, so I'll compare it to one thing. You know, I used to like to gamble playing
Nah,
blackjack.
fuck you, Gak. You buy
I
shit
know.
all the time. You're like picking up a game every other day. Like this doesn't apply to you. You
Oh,
can't relate.
Yeah, all right. Dave
Your wife
from
loves it
Buffalo.
when you buy games.
Dave from Buffalo, you like to go to casinos and stuff, but you're more of a poker guy.
Correct.
But
He
like
pokes, all right.
to me, this sort of reminds me of blackjack, where like, there is a thrill in it. Sometimes you'll hit it big and it'll be awesome. I guess the same with poker, but with this, it's like you're not losing anything. You just have like this 1 in a million chance of maybe hitting it big, right?
Right.
But it's not losing anything other than reposting your Craigslist ad.
Hey,
And I always respond to everyone totally politely.
Griffin
and
talk
tell
about
them thank you so much for responding, and I appreciate them going out of their way to respond.
Did Griffin already talk about the offers that we got this week or not?
Not yet.
Have we talked about that already?
No, we got as far as Jim not liking
Jim just shit all over it.
Yeah,
did
I sure
all of
did.
Wait,
Hey, I
one
was being
second.
legit. I'm not into this. I'm not
One
into
second,
it.
Steve.
Sorry,
I've got. This is a perfect segue to the only response I've gotten last week, and it's kind of funny. What Gak was just saying, I got offered. Well, I don't have an arcade game, but I have a Keno slot machine from the 80s. I swear to God. But the screen doesn't work, and it's a Keno slot machine. Like you play Keno on it. It was like next to like wood paneling, and I was like, we had this 80s bar, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. You know, it's not really my thing. Oh, no problem. Thanks for responding.
I'm sorry, but you know, if I don't want to, if I'm not in a position to buy anything, and it's a like, I'm not there. I don't want to buy it. Why would I post something saying I want to buy something?
Yeah.
Because you never know when someone's gonna come up with
it doesn't fucking matter.
He doesn't want anything. I think it's the
a
issue.
paperboy could show up for $1,000, and I'd be like, you know what? I would rather spend $1,000 on.
Well, what if it was a crossbow for $250?
Yeah, exactly. Or what if it was $100 paperboy? You'd find that money.
Yeah, put that in your
and then think about the odds of that. Okay, I'm turning down probably 100 other people.
You have to take off that "I'm awesome" T-shirt right now.
How about
no, I'm legit is what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm not fucking pulling anyone's leg here.
Yeah.
Fucking false advertising.
That's
how about it's a fun thing with
That's fine for you. That's fine for you guys. But you know what? If I'm not actually if I'm not going to buy something, I'm not going to advertise that I'm going to buy something, and I'm going to buy whatever.
Jim, is there any other arcade people that you like?
Just call him a Debbie Downer and be done with
it. No, Jim.
Damn.
Hey,
no. Downer from Buffett.
Is there people near you? Like how close is Fet to you?
What's that?
Our Fetish Boy. How close is Fetish Boy to you?
He's about an hour away.
Okay. Well, see, here's what I do is that anytime I get an offer, I send it to my text with Keith, Till, and Joel, and I go, hey, I got this offer. Are you guys interested? Otherwise, I'm going to tell them to go, you know.
I do that. I almost always, I've done that numerous times with stuff when I come across them on Craigslist. And yeah, I could do the same thing, but at the same time, it's still to me, it just seems like a stupid move. It just seems dumb.
Well, for stuff that didn't even get posted, that actually Till was interested in, and I'm still talking with the person. They really lag getting back to us.
Sure.
Yeah.
That Till actually really wanted. And he has actually 2 games out of the 3 he really wants. So it's worth it for us, but maybe not for you because you're not in touch with as many arcade people in your area directly.
Well,
you know?
I mean, I can throw it out to the other Minnesota guys, but
I mean, why wouldn't you? Are they doing it? I don't know. I mean,
what's it?
I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, if
there's a couple of Minnesota guys that post those same ads.
No. All right,
I mean, if you hate doing it, don't do it. I mean, this is supposed to be a fun thing.
I'm not into it. I'm not into it.
And don't do it.
I mean, this has been fun, but
we don't want you going to confession on Sunday in the booth and saying, "I'm sorry."
I'm so sick of saying no thanks.
No.
I'm so fucking sick of saying no thanks to people when I really don't want to spend any money right now. That's just the point of it. Like, this is great. It was a great experiment. It's like, wow, people are responding to this, even though there's nothing that I'm interested in.
Yeah,
that's great. But you know, I'm just trying to make a point here. I'm not into this. And I feel guilty about doing this sort of thing when I know deep down I'm not gonna probably bite on any of this shit.
You're feeling guilty.
If I was fresh in this hobby and I had no games and I had money right now, yeah, great. But no, I've had plenty of luck just looking at Craigslist when I'm ready to buy. That's how I've gotten 90% of my collection. So fuck you guys. No,
angry white man.
This show just grew a fucking morale.
Look at
Jack
that.
Lick in the comments says, "So modify your ad. Want to buy arcade games for nothing."
Yeah. I believe they have a name for that. It's called the free section. Want it for free.
I got crab meat and a train set.
Imitation crab meat.
That's an inside joke.
Oh, you know, drinkers make.
So can the people who actually did want to do this answer their part about their ads?
Well, Steve kind of half answered it for us all because there's myself, Steve, and Keith all in the same place. We got hit up by the same guy, and it was, what was it? A sprint?
Was it a super sprint? No, it was a regular Atari sprint, right?
Regular sprint.
Yeah.
And what were the other two? Lethal Enforcers and a pole position, and he described them all as needing work.
Yeah, and the pole position is not quite working.
Like a sprint 2, you mean?
He just said sprint, so hard to know. Could have been a championship sprint, at which point I already turned him down because he wanted 300 apiece, and he was doing the whole sort of come and get them today or this offer's over. And I was just like,
it's a championship sprint.
Oh, dude, if that's a championship sprint.
Oh my God. For $300?
$300. Holy
You'll
shit.
get it. I mean, shit, look what I did with one.
I would buy a champions for twice that easy.
I would buy another one just to repeat the whole process I just went through. Because you put $700 into it, and it's worth $3,000. So
yeah,
I like the game. Fuck Paperboy. I want to.
Well, if you just don't have an Atari One system, you can always just get all sorts of different games for it.
That's it too.
No, I never even saw the photos. I turned him down on the sprint.
I think the pole position isn't quite working, but isn't supposedly Adam's board going to be out like in 20 years?
Yeah, we're looking at 2025.
Hey, speaking of Adam, I literally just had this conversation with Carrie like a night or two Sunday. Actually,
I was like, you know story? What? I want to hear
it's a very happy story. Yeah, fuck you, glasses and a hat.
Guy who we don't know, who's definitely not.
I was saying how much Carrie. I'm like, I miss Adam. I wish he was on. He hasn't been on the show forever. I know he's busy, but so I was thinking about actually either emailing him or whatever on Clav, trying to get him to come on at least to shoot for the Christmas show.
I have several times already. That's how I got Gleek to come back on too. I messaged Gleek.
Yeah, but I was shooting for a holiday.
Yeah,
like a Festivus miracle.
You might just it's just really late for them. That's all.
Hey, does anybody have any extra of these cards?
Used to be.
Andrew, do you have extra of the collector cards?
Oh, so
I just want cousin Brian
another
from
Festivus miracle.
Nice.
So I can give him one.
Yeah, reach out to Steve at Grinkers.
Well, Steve's got extra.
Because so I was.
People did collect.
Well, no. I was in back at some point in Grinkers getting a shirt for someone, and I found like a giant box
of condoms.
So Steve, I don't know what his plans are, but he might be willing to send one out to you.
Yeah, just the one card of cousin Brian because I'd like to give it to him.
Naked.
Yeah. So talk to Steve because he has. From what I understand, he has a shit with him.
Oh, the Craigslist person sending me photos right now. I have to remind him. Because he said there might be something wrong with it or something.
Well, you're not really a buyer anyway, so.
I don't know. Championship sprint would be kind of cool to have.
You don't really want
championship sprint. Why does he want it?
Converted to a paperboy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy these games. You're just a liar.
Sprint come in two string wheels too, or is it always three, or what is the deal on that?
Super Sprint's 3, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's taking a stab at me or you, Mock, but that's okay.
It was for you, James. Sorry.
So his picture is so close up of the championship.
That's right.
Sprint,
question. I won't punch a guy with glasses.
See, it's like I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's
fucking A. Go get that shit,
dude. Yeah,
but it's like so close up. I can't see the controls. I can't see if there's any damage on the.
You gotta look at it at least.
Well, go look at it. I mean, for what, $300 is what they're asking. I mean,
yeah, dude, what the fuck do you want for $300?
I would go take a look at that at least.
Yeah, Fucking Christ, come on.
The control panel shows some wear. I don't want to buy it.
Yeah. There's no guide.
$300 is too much for a
we're
medium
just concerned about water
resolution
damage,
monitor.
you know, like at the pace and
Water
stuff.
damage in California? Are you fucking kidding me?
Just a medium res monitor alone.
Some people
There's,
leave their machines out in the backyard.
Dude, the whole
Can't
vibe of
get
this
water
show.
here if we try.
Leave me alone.
We have to have our water piped in from Colorado, for fuck's sake.
Okay, guys, Orange Whip has got his finger on the button.
You play nice.
Don't make me take off my belt.
Right? This episode 102
You have
when
to
it all
take your
falls
shirt
apart.
out first.
Don't make me shoot you with my electric horsepower.
Exactly, the episode where everyone ends up hating each other.
Oh God, I don't like the vibe of this. It's terrible.
Oh, coming from the guy that's like, oh, making jabs at me.
Yeah, it's like a jab.
Nice pants, though.
Yeah, I am wearing pajamas.
Okay, anybody in
Okay,
Northern
that
California?
works.
Yeah, hits.
All right, I take it back. He's got good pajama pants.
Let's play this shit up.
Northern California, anybody?
No,
Penis?
I have
What?
had 0 responses whatsoever. Not a single fucking one. Except for Mike 3 weeks ago, who, just fucking pulled my leg.
Worthless,
But I noticed.
no good, goddamn freeloading son of a bitch.
No, Gak, we can't hear you now.
Paper boys
That's
for
right. He's wearing
weed.
glasses. Sometimes the microphone doesn't pick that up.
No.
Well, since
You
Gak
don't
can't
like paper
talk.
boy anymore?
I'm texting this guy
I've
now
noticed
about
this-
sprint. To Steve.
What
I've
happened to
noticed
your
some
glasses,
new.
Mock? You guys were a trio for a while. Put your helmet on.
I've noticed some new ads for people who are new who want to have or doing the
Sex.
want to buy ads.
Oh.
I'm relating directly to the show, and it pisses me off. I'm like, oh, did we start something? Because we've talked about, why? It would be stupid not to do this. And now I see a whole bunch of them fucking cropping up. And I feel committed to doing it the way that we've set them. Like one of them's from Orangevale. Guy, and he's actually doing closer to what I would do, which is if I were doing my own ad, I would craft a little differently and he talks about, I'm a collector, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I would want to do rather than this very generic one. It's like just lip reading for you, Gak.
Well, we only have one more week of this shit that Jim hates anyway.
Yeah,
so.
and other people, they stop doing it. People will do it for a week or two, and then they get bored of not getting responses, and they're done.
Or their ad will get deleted 6 times in one day, and they're not interested.
Yeah. All right. So I'm all right. Then I'm hanging in there, but I am curious. So after this ends, I'm going to try doing it I'm going to do it my way.
The one I have is completely different as well. I put out as a collector, and I wouldn't resell them, and blah blah blah.
And that's what Orangevale's doing. Like, I'm not going to part it out. I'm not going to sell it. I'm a collector. I only have a couple of games.
I put out one.
It kind of does a little sob story about
I keep them from going into the dump. I don't want to get them. I don't want to see them turn into 16 ones and stuff. That's what I put in mine too.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, he does very much. It's kind of a collector thing.
Yes.
I just have a couple of games. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on an old something or other. He says that. You might know who it is. I'm guessing, Gak.
I have an idea. I've heard,
It's
it might
Gak's
be
son.
Frank. It's not me.
No, it's your
I've heard
son.
it's a prank.
I
putting ads up for you, so you don't have to.
Yeah, it's someone like trolling, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but it was hinted at that. Okay, I got a few. I think I mentioned one in our Slack chat, but this is always the thing too. I'll lean a little towards Mr. Awesome Glasses right now.
There's lots of us wearing
glasses.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a glasses show.
We gotta
By
join the crew,
Can I
right?
interject? Have you had
Jim
one
was
ever?
Soon.
That's all I got, guys.
I got my 12-pack in.
He's wearing like basketball glasses.
FYI, best thing since sliced bread. There's no more seals. There's no plastic.
Oh, no way.
Oh, really?
Put it up and it's ready to go.
About freaking time.
Nice.
That's what I'm
Yay.
doing. Like Carrie comes over, I break the seal, I open up the tab, and then I put the cap on. I give it to her. Now you don't even have that. You just open it up and it's ready to go. I checked 2 of them.
Such a gentleman, too. Because the
Even
last
with
thing you
my
want to
safety
do when you
glasses.
need one is
These are the only glasses I've had.
I just want to say we got a couple new people, I think, on tonight on the chat.
Nudes?
So I want to say howdy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Guys.
This is your first time.
I noticed Chaz.
This is such a popular, upbeat show. Yeah.
We should try getting Chaz on here to. I want to see how hyper he is live.
Chaz, that name
reminds
reminds me
like high energy.
I'm actually a subscriber to Chaz's channel, and
I am too. I dig his videos. Yeah. So I don't know if he drinks beer or not, but either way, you know, we're kind of split half and half, drinkers and non-drinkers, maybe.
I like a few times in his videos that he films him like unloading a game, and then his wife comes out and she's got a look on her face like,
that was hilarious.
Damn it, another one.
I've been there. I couldn't wait.
And it just cracks me up because it's like, you know, we've all been
maybe
there.
we can figure out a way to try to send him an invite one of these weeks. But and then also I think Brandon, I believe that's Junior Pack. So hello Junior Pack. We're kind of a rowdy bunch here, so I'll apologize in advance if anything.
Isn't he like 16 years old?
Chaz, if you PM me on Claw of Orange Whip, give me your email address. I can add you to our list next week. Or I can
Chaz, I'm sorry, 21 or older.
Junior Pack has been like 14 years old for like 5 years now, I think. So I don't know how old he is.
He's still not old enough to drink, though, by that math.
He's an amazing, talented person, by the way. For anybody who's met him, I appreciate his enthusiasm with keeping the
alive.
Yes, exactly. You know, the history of arcade
collecting. A lot of
games. I mean, it's he's got some thick skin.
A lot of claw bombardment.
He got nailed by the claw pretty much.
We gave him shit for years about how he doesn't even have a cabinet. Like, I'm gonna build a Pac-Man, I swear.
We all have our own things going on, and that's how we've kind of gotten into this weird hobby. You know, we have a lot of enthusiasm for what we do, and I really love what he does. So keep it up. I mean, whatever he's gonna do, I think he's gonna do awesome stuff as he gets older.
Sam Adams' chocolate block is fucking candy.
So all right, so back to my my responses on Craigslist. So this one was the day after our last podcast. This guy had a Revolution X. So like Jimbo said, most of this stuff is like, it's not something I want at all, really, but I kind of think in the back of my mind, well, if I could get it super cheap and then maybe I know somebody who wants it, maybe I could do a trade or just help them out, but I'm kind of like, there's no way this guy's going to go cheap enough. And then I kind of asked for a little bit of background on it and a price. And then, so Kerry, he actually mentioned this was at a local Scandia to us. So that one, I think, the one that's right by Highway 80. But so I have some nostalgia for that location, but unfortunately I don't have any nostalgia for the game. And then I was thinking in my mind, like, if this guy says 100 or a couple $100, why not? I know I could sell it for more than that whenever I'm ready. Even though I don't have space for the freaking thing. But he came back saying he paid $800 for it, and he doesn't think it's worth quite that much, but he'd like to get close to that. So I just kind of said, well, I appreciate it, but I just don't think I'll be anywhere near that. So kind of passed on that deal. The other one last week was I said they kind of sounded like tweakers with some real hokey cabinets. So I was like, is it even worth it for me to offer $200 because of the headache of dealing with the stuff? Because maybe a couple of circuit boards I want, but the rest of the stuff I don't really want. But I just kind of said, well, actually, I didn't respond. And then a few days goes by, and she texted me again. So I said, well, I don't know exactly what your thinking value is on this, but I'm kind of in the boat of I'm not really interested in most of this stuff. But I would like to help get this into hands of people who might want to restore these or are looking for the circuit boards. But to make it worth my effort, I'd be kind of in the market of maybe $150. Start low, see what happens. I wouldn't pay more than $200, really. But she just kind of came back with, oh, no, that's not even close. No, thank you. So that's always the argument. Like, they're like, make an offer, but they have a price in mind,
I said good day.
Yeah. So it's like
They're assholes.
in 99% of the time they have a price in mind with what they want. So just kind of tell me, and then if I'm way off base, I'll just say no, thank you.
That's like the fuckers on eBay with the best.
I can't hear you, Jimbo. Can anybody hear me? Everybody muted?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
We hear everyone.
I can't
You
hear
can't hear
anybody
me.
at all.
I can hear Jim, and
All
I
right,
can hear
you gotta leave
Jack.
then.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine. Yes, thumbs up.
This is bizarre.
We.
Yeah,
We'll
we
just keep
hear
talking.
you. I don't think you can hear us. Yeah, we hear you.
Am I locked up?
No.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Ah.
Hey, penis.
I can't hear anyone at all.
He's a dick with glasses.
Hello?
No, nothing.
So I was just
All right.
talking.
We can hear you.
Well, so should I just keep yapping because I can't hear you guys at all? Oh, let me log off and go back on.
How about we just mute you and then we keep talking?
Jim, what's with the shades? Should I put
I'm gonna
mine
log off
on?
and be back.
I have
Fine.
those. The safety
It's a. Yeah, well, everyone's wearing glasses. I felt left out.
Oh, I'll get mine then.
Didn't you get the memo?
I just texted the person with the championship sprint that Mark was talking about because they hit me up about a week ago, and they're going to deliver it $300. So
Is that the same one?
yeah,
And they're delivering it?
yep.
Am I working now?
He just
Up
sent
your
me
driveway?
We can hear you.
Okay.
I did, but
That's
I mean,
weird, man. You guys just all went to mute for me.
Yeah, well, coincidentally, I muted you, and all of a sudden you went to mute. It was just
Yeah.
amazing.
So I don't know. There was two more that I got. One was, and I know one was trolling for sure. They said they had a bouncer, and their name was Kaneda or whatever. You know, the guy that was had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bed sheets.
yeah.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Somebody emailed me as if they were him, and they had a bouncer if I was interested for $100. So I didn't respond to that one. But somebody else said they had a bubble hockey checks or whatever that one's called.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I haven't responded to that one yet. I think that was like last night, maybe.
I love bubble hockey.
I would love one of those.
Yeah. So
I played the shit out of that in college.
let's say it's like
$300.
say it's like 7 out of 10 physical condition, but it's not working. What kind of price would you put on that?
That's a tough one.
I mean, fully working, it's probably $1,200, $1,500. I don't know.
No, those things
But
go.
what's not working? Because there's not a lot to those games.
And you can buy all the parts for them.
I don't know yet. I'm just
There's
like,
two-
I just want a starting point.
There's a switch in each goal for when the puck gets in, and then there's a flipper at the beginning when you hit the puck, when you hit the button to pop the puck to serve it, and then there's the little scoring LED at the top.
Well, there's a whole
there's not a
PCB in
lot
it.
to it.
There's a whole PCB in it.
Yeah, but there's not a lot to it. That's what I'm saying. Like all there is there's just a little bit of speech, and then there's just sounds.
Well, there's LEDs for the scores.
Which
Did you guys see this? This was an invitation to see the brand new checks in '82. This is an invitation from an operator to go see the new checks bubble hockey in '82.
So, Jack, I
Wow,
just got
that's
somebody
cool.
up here that sold a non-working checks bubble hockey.
You should put that in
Somebody else for $300.
That's a good price.
And I was pissed off because I would have bought it in a second for $300.
That's a really good price.
Can you guys see this? I don't know if it's even legible at all or not.
Oh yeah, it's totally clear.
Yeah. Okay, so
$100.
What a dickhead.
yeah, from Canada.
You should
Is that man,
respond
oh, man?
to that. Gak, respond to
Yeah,
that and ask if he has a pedestal Street Fighter arcade
Oh,
game.
that would be good. Yeah.
And maybe a bed with Teenage
You should
Mutant
respond and say
Turtle
that thing's not worth
sheets.
any more than $10.
Is that like a joke?
So
or
I
what?
might have read this one wrong.
You should respond and say, I'm not interested, but if you have a bed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bed sheets and a
Did you guys read
pedestal
that?
Street Fighter.
I don't know.
Game
Maybe that's not the air hockey.
That-
Did I read that
That's
wrong?
not,
Yeah.
that's not bubble. That's air hockey.
Oh, so the clack thing on the countertop.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't worth anything.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't
We used
respond.
to
yet.
have those at auctions, and they couldn't get rid of them for $50.
Yeah,
It's just because they
All
take
right.
up a lot of space.
Yeah, they're huge.
So
That bouncer's not real, right?
No.
Oh, come on, from Canada? Who's?
That's a joke, right?
How could there possibly be another Canada out there with a bouncer?
It's probably the
Yeah.
same guy that was trolling John about one too.
Who knows? Yeah. Whatever.
He has
It's all
no
good.
pictures of it or anything, so you know he'd be taking pictures of it if he had
Hey,
it right next to his
We should
bed.
we should put bets on the next time that drunk John will join the show.
Depends on if
6
Dave
months, 8 months, a year.
messages him.
Well, yeah, but that was Thanksgiving. He happened to be up and.
Holidays.
But he does his podcast on Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
But that's usually over like 11.
Yeah.
So
yeah, with Michelle.
yeah, that was just that was a random thing. I happened to look at Facebook and he posted like 30 minutes ago, and it was like 1:30. I'm like, God, is he up? And then
Crazy auto for sale, $50.
Did you get Joe to
You
go,
might have to
or-
hop on that one.
Yeah. Get Joe to come on again.
Anybody else have any?
Joe,
I didn't have any.
we host a vegan podcast once a week.
Oh, yes.
All right, I gotta go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back. Too much fear going through me.
I'd also like to say hello to Jacob, since nobody really said hello to him since he's on.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Mr. Jacob, the Wooden Arcade. We can barely hear you.
Huh?
You can't hear me?
You're really low when you sing back.
What?
What?
The trouble is, you joined at the time of the evening where Jim just spams everyone with his soundboard, so you have no chance of
Actually,
being.
that happened about half an hour ago already.
Come on, son. If you're going to be on, you got to dive in.
Am I
Big
in?
words.
Can you guys hear me?
I
Yeah,
can hear you.
We can hear you now, yeah.
Is it better?
As long as
Yeah.
you're closer to the mic.
Oh, it's probably because I was
Just,
running a bunch of other
as
things.
long as you're drinking something, you'll be fine.
Yeah, what you drinking?
Today I'm drinking Base Camp's S'mores Stout.
Ooh.
Oh,
He
s'more
works in a
stouts are
brewery.
good.
Come on.
Have any of you guys had the S'more Stout?
Yes.
You know what? He looks like he works in a brewery.
I do work at a brewery.
Yeah, you look like you work in a
We have
brewery.
a few good s'more stouts in Minnesota.
I look like
Yeah,
that
they
ass
are
you walk
delicious.
up to at a brewery and you're like, God, I hope he's not our server.
Now, what we see, you got your Donkey Kong behind you there. What else? Is there anything else in the room?
This is the one the wife lets me have in the room. I am close to being able to bring a cocktail project. If I can get it working, she'll let me put that in the couch. So I'll have those two. But I just found a Donkey Kong 3 a couple of days ago and finally fixed that up. So now I'm at 10 machines in my collection.
There you go. That's good. That's more than Jim.
I'm happy.
That's a good start. I remember when I only had 10 games.
Are you counting just for the apartment then? Or did you not tune in last week, fuckhead?
I don't know where you at now. Your apartment's starting to look a little full.
So,
Well, if you
Jacob,
were
hi, by
paying
the way.
attention last week, Griffin, I had I think I'm at 16, 17 games.
I don't even know where I was last week.
You were,
Oh, that's
on
right.
vacation with
You were
somebody.
cock locked with your girl.
Cock locked, not
You were
cock
in the
locked.
cabin time.
Wait,
that's
did
why I
that make
changed
her
it.
a
I said
girlfriend?
locked, not blocked.
Well, and just to give background too, like Griffin, but Jacob has been on the show a few times now,
Yeah.
Wooden Arcade.
Yeah.
so you don't need to give him the.
He's probably been on more than you, Griffin. I think actually we should bump you off before we're for someone else.
Jacob, you heard we're all wearing glasses tonight, so you had to come on, huh?
I'm so sad I can't find your glasses.
No, Jacob, so you run the Donkey Kong Club.
Yeah, the Kong Club. I was going to talk about that too.
On Facebook, and actually, you made your inaugural post there. Yeah.
Yes. So I've been meaning to try to get on there for a while. It's just, we have family lives, all that BS. So, but last weekend, I was like, damn it, all right, I'm going to try this out. So I posted a thing there on Facebook and that was a lot of fun. It really was. I had a couple technical difficulties trying to do the live part with the camera, but Harry Gloth and I did kind of I'll call it a head-to-head gameplay there. It's really fun. I'd like to see a way to get even more players.
Yeah, it's really cool. When I was like making that a year ago, I didn't think it would blow up as much as it is.
Congratulations, by the way. I mean, you got about 300 people on there and some hardcore players too.
Yeah, I've got. It ranges from the guy that can only break 30,000 all the way up until I've got the top 5.
The world record guys.
I've got Walter Day in there. It's a really good, great big mix of players from all over the world. There's people from Norway, Sweden, Australia. Everybody.
When we were on Saturday night, Nagy was on there from Germany, and then even Alex from England, he was on there in the chat. So it was pretty fun.
Alex was supposed to come on tonight.
Was he?
Yeah, he said he was going to come on tonight.
It's nice. It's really built on everybody Facebook living. There's a few people that have the Twitch streams and they want to do that, but really what it comes down to is you have your phone or your computer and you prop it up next to your machine or your main thing or whatever you got, and everyone just posts playing, and everybody gets on and watches and tells you hit tips and hints, and it's pretty awesome. It
was fun.
Sticks and chips. No, wait.
We've done one that I think Orange Whip kind of hosted. It wasn't Donkey Kong specific stuff, but it was early on in how we were doing our weekly tournament stuff. And I think Orange Whip hosted it, and then there was maybe 5, 6, 7 of us that were doing the live feed. Yeah, and that was a lot of fun too, through Griffin's Arcade Icons score site. So, but yeah,
is that website still up?
It actually crashed on me recently. We haven't probably touched it in about 4 months, I bet.
Who's the admin for that?
You got a cat walking around your pinball machine behind you.
Yeah.
Maybe Gak can be the admin.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I got all this free time. Yeah. And I keep dropping hints at Frizzy if he's out there listening right now. I'm like, dude, come on, you got all these suggestions. How about you just, take one more step and go ahead and host it? I love it. We'll put Arcade Ass Hats logos all over it.
Well,
Let's just do it.
You got a Joel's screen right now. On Joel's screen, the cat is playing Arkanoid. The cat is playing Arkanoid on Joel's screen.
I know that. So this is the
That's
cat's new. The cat's new hobby is walking across every single machine control panel, up and down the garage. He loves it. I don't know. Whatever. It's cool. I'm glad she's into the hobby.
One of my cats just broke my wife's favorite holiday decoration in the house. It was this glass Christmas tree that had LEDs in it, and it had little ornaments in it and stuff. The cat fucking knocked it off onto the hard floor and shattered it. That fucking piece of shit.
Look at this shit. Look. I don't know if you can. Look. You see? Look, Katie. Yeah.
Nice.
That's why my games exist now. It's like cat ops.
Don't let it get inside the back of the machine. It'll be a recreation of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Before I forget and it gets too late, let's just kind of talk briefly about the weekly game, if you guys don't mind. So we did Dig Dug this week, and it looks like there was boring. Yeah, right. See, that's how we gotta do it early, because Jimbo will just like take over with all the. So I noticed maybe 2 new people on there. Crush Arcade. I don't know if Jack Blake's been on there before. I'm not sure. And Coindork even. He had the top score, by the way. So Coindork came in first, 302,900. Frizzle Fried, big shocker. He's always in the top 2 or 3. 117,650. I was not able to play until tonight. I only played about 15 minutes. That's my excuse. Jack Blake got 3rd, Crush Arcade 4th, myself 5th, Slick Nick 6th, The Gleet in 7th, Orange Whip 8th, and Jayton G in 9th. And I think that's Slick Nick's son, maybe. Jaden? I'm not sure. So I'm going to just try to do it, a weekly one between now and the end of the year. And Frizzle Fried, I'm going to keep bumping you. I'd love it if you want to just kind of take over the reins and keep it going. I'm already juggling a lot, as we all are probably, but I was not able to get the next week's game set up in advance, but the one I want to do it was recommended by Slick Nick. Shoot, what is the name of it? It's like Astro Blaster, maybe. Does that sound right, you guys? Anybody?
Astro Blaster?
Let's see here.
Fun game.
I gotta go back a page or two here, because yes, Astro Blaster. So that's the next one I want to do. Starting tomorrow will be Astro Blaster. I don't know, it may not be on Arcade SD. It's not on 16.1, I don't think, but I
definitely not
kind of wanted to.
16.1.
Slick Nick had recommended either Donkey Kong Foundry or Astro Blaster. Foundry, I think, is even more specific. There's only a couple platforms that's on. So I went with Astro Blaster. So that's a fun game. I think that's one of the first ones that had voice. Am I right about that? I don't know. So, all right. That's my little sidebar.
Kitty's made it to Paperboy now. And now she's running right across the top of the projector screen over to Tron. Good
so
job.
you might want to watch the cat, because my cat likes to scratch the screens, because they see the reflection and they do this, and they scratch up
like
all the
glass or something.
Yeah,
it's like a tough modern Trojan course for her now.
You got to discipline that Ripley.
She's more into the games than my ex-wife was. So.
So,
nice.
Speaking of the score thing, we talked about trying to do it last week, Orange Whip. I think you and I are the only ones that were gonna maybe attempt it.
Yeah, we can do it this week.
I mean, it really just depends on if we get enough people wanting to do it. So
if we don't advertise the least on here or somewhere else, they might not.
Yeah,
know.
I think if not this week, let's shoot for next week and try to. I really think got to post something in one of the threads about it to see if we can get people in advance to set aside time.
Maybe we could shoot for like the last 2 or 3 weeks in December as a holiday challenge or something.
Right. Yeah. It's really fun.
That's why there's a couple weeks ahead of time to advertise it.
Like I said, the one I did last Saturday on the Kong Club, that was a lot of fun. Having that live play interaction.
Yeah, it was fun the first time we did that. It was
yes. Good. In Kong Club, it's Donkey Kong kind of specific games, but it's kind of the same thing we did. But we should start a thread, and then we'll just start a thread in Clav, and then even get people's opinions on what games to play. Yeah,
that's what's cool about that Facebook thing is that they're letting people connect 2 screens now, and I mean it was never really meant for arcade battles, but I mean as it happened, it would naturally happen on Kong Club, but the possibilities on other groups are endless.
So just to give a little plug for you there, it's Kong Club with a KULB is the club part. So KONGKLUB on Facebook. And, there's 300-ish members, but you have to sign up to be part of it, right? And obviously active on Facebook.
It's one of those things where you have to answer questions because I want it to... It's only 3 questions, but I want the people that are actually going to take the time to answer. They're really easy questions, but I don't want people just to hit approve just to have a bunch of. I want a group of people that actually really want to be in it.
They're interested in being there, yeah. So
my only bummer thing about the Facebook thing is you can't see people's older videos, right?
Once it's gone, it's gone.
Once it's not live, it's gone, right?
When you post a video that's live, and when you end the video, it'll ask, do you want to post it? And you can post it, and it'll just be there definitely until you delete it. But you can go back.
So whoever the main host is of it. Okay.
It seems like most of the videos I go back and look at, like if I miss someone playing live, I go back and try and look at it. It's like it's gone, so I can't actually watch their play.
Well, Facebook has that weird thing now where they're like they only show you the most recent at the top, and then it like filters weirdly the rest of the stuff.
It also saves all the commenting too, doesn't it? If people comment on your live video, that all shows up in the saved one too.
Yeah, for like a few days after I saw it, because I think either Harry or myself posted it after we were done, and yeah, for a few days afterwards, I saw a few more posts. So definitely people were seeing it after. Yeah. So yeah, and then you've got is it you or another guy on there who's doing there's like 3-game try, what's it called?
Yeah, one of our members, Matt, because I used to do this thing where every month it would be a Donkey Kong contest. Whoever put the high score on Donkey Kong doing Facebook Live, if they had the highest score at the end of 30 days, I would send them a 6-pack of beer. And for
I missed out on that. Shit.
Yeah, so I'll bring it back. But it was one night. Beer. And then this Matt guy.
But you just be like sending a 6-pack to Robbie Lakeman every fucking month.
Well, Robbie Lakeman won the last one. He came in and put like 700,000. I was like, okay, I'll send you the beer.
He lives out up northwest, doesn't he?
Yeah. But right now, Matt's got a contest where you have to do a Facebook Live video. You have to play Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Donkey Kong 3 consecutively in a row, one game
naked,
and then your combined score of all.
It all has to be live too, like one game to the next in one video.
And you have one shot to play the game once.
And you combine. I believe the way Harry explained it is you can.
If you want to rage quit, you have to start it all over. So it's one all 3 games, but one try each game.
And the way Harry explained it was, it's just the total score between all 3 games. So you could be like kick ass at one of them and not so good at the other 2. As long as your overall score between all 3 has the highest, you win essentially.
And it's kind of kept everybody in kind of a window with each other. It's pretty fun.
So the next one you should do is a blindfolded one where one person on the East Coast has to tell the person on the West. Oh, wait.
I have some ideas for a nice little we like to call them Kong tests, but a nice Kong test in January I'm thinking about is doing like a bracket style.
There you go, Gak. You're a little late. You guys are late to the show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, the packaging has changed.
That stuff worked.
So
it doesn't have the.
How do you like the cap? How do you like?
Oh
the
yeah, nice.
The bottle's different.
Is that
One
fucking
off lid thingy?
All right, here we go.
No seal.
Yes,
right, cheers, Gak.
Our podcast is sponsored by this, Jacob.
It actually seems to work.
There's the unofficial sponsor.
It's so nice not having that stupid seal.
Yes, that's a pain. Half the time the thing tore off before we able to get it out.
You had the plastic on top, then you had the seal. It's like,
and then the little condom.
Do you guys want us to really struggle or not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if come on, we're drunk and we're trying to get the thing
half
open.
drunk and you're trying to peel that shit out.
Am I crazy? But did they change the taste of it a little bit?
It tastes the same to
It's
me.
a little different.
You're sick, Mock.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So that it's the like the Donkey Kong triathlon or something like that is what it's called, right?
Way to get back on track.
Yeah.
Mock
Jim,
tastes a little phlegmy.
Up to the hell of this.
Huh.
Well,
we
no,
get back on.
Boring.
You're muted, Jacob.
Jim likes Junior though. I mean, come on.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes, I probably was playing more remixes than anything, and Harry was playing the regular ones. But yeah, good time.
At Ridgemont High.
No, I meant to set up like a live stream. I was telling Jacob in the our little internal chat here, like I would be into doing like the live stream thing. Like apparently, it's like I know I'm a very mediocre like Kong player. Like Junior, I'm terrible at. Like Jim, like what's your best score, Junior?
100,000, barely.
100,000. All right, so you're breaking 100. So we're getting close. Gak, where are you at with that?
Probably about that. I don't remember, to be honest. I had quite a few beers with me Saturday night, so I was getting maybe 60-ish, I want to say.
Yeah, all right. So I'm like 30, 40K at junior. I'm not good at junior. I'm terrible. I mean, like
it was pretty funny though, because Kowalski and his girlfriend Nina were both in the chat too, and he was talking about like, dude, you got to play Deranged. That's the real Scruto one.
Oh yeah.
And I did pretty good. I think I got 46,000 on Deranged.
Deranged is good training.
Yeah.
Can you guys want to talk about the Dig Dug thing so we can get it done and over with?
Didn't we already?
What's Dig Dug?
No, well,
I went over the score
Brad's
list.
drunk. Just ignore him.
You stepped out while I was talking about Brad.
Did we talk about it during? I was on my pre-break.
Maybe 5 minutes ago.
We talked about it on my pre-break.
He's had so much
could've
fucking
been.
Dr. Pepper, he just can't.
Iced tea.
You guys are all just blur. You're a caffeine.
So
like
Coindork
iced teas, too.
got the win on it. I don't know if he's done this before. Coindork is the one. He's out of Arizona, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you guys talk about it, that's fine. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, and I
When was on
said,
my pre-break, I didn't know.
I said, what was the game? I want to say Astro something. Astro Blaster. Astro Blaster is the one we're going to do next week.
We were talking about it in one of the chats about picking two so that people know what the next one is after that.
Well, I'm going to leave that up to if Frizzy wants to do the next season.
If he wants
have
to
at it.
Fuck Frizz for bringing up Galga 88. I'm looking for a PCB, and why are these so hard to come by? I'm like, you ass munch. I was just talking about how great that game is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to send you an email saying I have a Galga 88 for sale.
And I think that, so I believe I didn't quite fact check 100% on Dig Dug when I was doing the settings. Before, when I've done them, I just go to Twin Galaxies and look at their settings. But then some people were complaining, saying the tournament settings are too hard just to do the default settings. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I just did I basically searched in Google the dip switch settings for Dig Dug, and it took me to the Mike's Arcade website. And when I read down there, it said easy setting. Everything else was right, I believe, but easy setting. But if you look at the manual for Dig Dug, it says medium, not easy. So I think what I'm going to do for Astro Blaster and future ones, if I can find it, I'll actually get from the manual the dip switch settings, the PDF, or screen grab it, and that's what I'll post. Like, I won't try to retype it. It's going to be an actual screen grab or PDF. And it's like, hey, okay, there should be no discrepancy there.
Right.
So I know Frizz made a comment about, if you do it in advance, then people can, say fix it. Well, I don't know. There's a limit to how much stuff I can do. So I want to do it. I want us to have fun. But, there's only so many hours.
And also people have to remember, this is just for fucking fun.
Exactly. So, and that's why I encourage him. Frizz, I would love it if you would do the next season. Put our asshat logos all over the tournament series, and do it how you want, and I'll participate.
An arcade hangout, arcade icons, asshat production.
There you go. Right, the triple arcade mashup. So,
can I sneak a quick question in here?
Yeah, go for it.
I can sneak it.
I'm going to sneak in like a snake in the bush.
Oh, where's Leo? We need to sneak
through your cheeks.
This arcade weekly arcade thing. Like you say that Astro Blaster's next. How does that situation go? Or were you guys posting?
So if you're probably not too much on KLV. It's all on KLV. The weekly tournaments. So we post basically a link to the Arcade Icons website, which has the tournament set in there. You have to register on the Arcade Icons website, and then enter your scores there. So there is no real restrictions other than it's on the honor system that you're going to do the default or what the settings we post in the thread. of what the settings on your gameplay should be. And you can do it in MAME, 16:1, Arcade SD, whatever. So Orange Whip got a thing he posted there. I don't know if you're sharing it or not.
Yep.
Okay. So there's the thread there for. So on the top there it says click here for current scores. That'll link it to the Arcade Icons website with the score listing. So there's the standings. There was 9 people this week, and so you have to register there. There is on the main page of Arcade Icons. He has Griffin. Is he here with us? Maybe. He made a couple of YouTube clips on how to actually register. Yeah. There we go. So if you haven't been there, Jacob, tinker around. He's got video links on how to sign up. After doing it a couple times, it's pretty easy. Just a little confusing at first.
I mean, yeah, you just go to sign up, and then when you go to you just go to the tournament section.
Click on tournaments.
And I'm clicking on tournaments, and now so there is our one right here. The latest
one at the top.
You just go here, register for a tournament.
Okay.
And then it'll give you a drop down of which tournament you want to join. And that's pretty much it. And once you've joined one, you click on the tournament here. And once you've joined it, then all you have to do, well, I can't do it because we've closed this one tonight.
Right.
But it'll be a big button that says register a score. And that's it.
So and this is another thing you can do too if you want, and you could even do this through Kong Club. It's you can create your own tournament on that website, and you specify the games you want and the duration of the tournament, and then people just go in there and upload it, and it's all kind of like self done after you set it up initially.
It looks pretty cool and organized and stuff.
Yeah, it just, tinker with it a couple times.
And you can add all your games into it and write notes about all your games, so you can have your whole collection in here too.
Yeah, he created maybe 3, 4, 5 YouTube videos on how to do it. So I recommend just watch those. Spend half hour watching all the videos, and it's not too difficult once you do that.
Cool.
To host your own, but yeah. So yeah, the thing we initially were doing was we want to try to have as many people that have games available to them, like a 16:1 Arcade SD. Pretty much most arcade collectors are going to have one or the other. And so we tried to stick to just the games that overlap between those two. But I feel like Astro Blaster doesn't really lie in that. We'll see what happens this week. There's enough MAME collectors or people with dedicated machines.
And that's just because we're trying to get as many people playing as we can.
Yeah. And it hasn't been any more than maybe 15, I want to say. Somewhere between 5 and 15 people doing it, all meant to just be fun, interact, get some gameplay. So, yep. All right, next beer.
Anybody have any pickups or anything this week?
Donkey Kong 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a really awesome story, but basically a few weeks ago, somebody had posted on Craigslist just Donkey Kong 3 stand-up. That was all it said, and it didn't use the word arcade or any game word at all in the entire post. It just said Donkey Kong 3 stand-up, but I have alerts for just the word Donkey Kong, so I got it, but I don't think that... Well, anyway, she wanted it for $500, and that's kind of a good little middle area. She said it worked, everything was fine. And I wrote her within an hour, and I said, you didn't post any pictures. We could post some pictures, and she's all send them to you. She sent me some shots, and it was really good condition. Well, I went and continued to talk to her through the day, and she ended up saying to me that she couldn't get it to turn on. It didn't work anymore, but she still wanted the full 5. So I didn't want to take the gamble, so I, let it go. And over the next few days, it kind of started bothering me because I really wanted a DK3, and And it's like, you know, what could have been just a fuse, or could it be something that easily one of my friends can help me, you know, with power supply and stuff that I'm not too, you know, what do I do? And so a few days later, you know, I said, you know, if you ever change your mind, to let me know. And she said, well, I think I'm going to take it off Craigslist because my kids want me to hang on to it. So I was like, okay, well, that's good. You're going to hold on to it. That's good. So over to the span of next week, it just kept bothering me. And I got back to her like 2 weeks later, and I said, hey, you know, do you still have that? I'm wondering if, you know, if you'd still be interested in selling it. And I was at this point willing to buy it for that price, broken, because it was bugging me that much. And she said, deal. Drove 2.5 hours north, met her, and in a nutshell, she basically, well, she walked me out into the garage, and the DK3 was she already had the dolly up to the DK3 and already wrapped, ready for me to take it out to my car. So it was like valet service for the DK.
Right, nice.
It was already ready for me, and I was putting it in the van, and I was telling her how much I appreciate it and how it was, you know, one of my top ones that I wanted, and it's never going to get sold, and my son will have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands to sell it. And she was really, you know, really happy about it. And she ended up, I gave her the money, and she ended up grabbing a handful of it and just giving it back to me and saying, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. You know, you deserve this machine. And I was like, what? I've never had a Craigslist sale where they gave me money back.
How much did she give you back?
Awesome. Really awesome. But she gave me a big hug, and she said, you know, she told her kids that the kids were like, please, Mom, don't sell this. We want you to hold on to this thing. She's like, no, I think that's supposed to go to this guy. So I got it, and it was because she felt like I needed to have it, and I did, and it got it home, and it ended up being a monitor issue, and there was
it was non-working when you got it from her?
Yeah, there was no net glow. It was.
Well, if you can do this, I'm sure her and her kids really appreciate it. Get a picture of it working and showing that you appreciate it, and send it to her. You know, she would love that.
Yeah, and so I kept her number and said, you know, I'll let you know when I get it working. And just tonight, over the last 2 days, I replaced the monitor, the entire thing, because I had a spare Sanyo. Replaced the monitor and then replaced the soundboard because it was like doing this weird cracking sound, and fired it up about 2 hours ago, and it played perfect sound, perfect screen for the first time in X amount of time that she's had it. So I have a DK3. It works with a great story, holiday story, and
all right, congratulations.
Yay! That is a great story. Yay!
And, fingers crossed, John Kowalski, if you ever hear this, you'll be coming out with a DK3 remix.
You have smoked yourself retarded.
So nice. So you have an original DK and an original DK3. Do you have DK Junior?
DK Junior is there's the crosshairs. You know, it's got
It's on the hunt
thing. It's you know, as most of us know, when you're looking for the right machine for the right time, it's just a waiting game. And now I'm on 2 years of doing this, and I'm okay with just waiting, especially after I bought. You know, you get the little itch. You buy something good for a couple months, and then all of a sudden you start seeing other people grabbing stuff, and then it starts getting the buildup starts coming again. So
my girlfriend does that every week.
I actually have some plans. I have a Mario kit that is put up like a regular Nintendo cab. So if I can find a donor Nintendo cab, I will put this Mario Brothers kit. But Mario Brothers and DK Junior.
I'll sell you my DK Junior.
My next ones. Oh yeah, and Carrie's inspirational gyrus is if I can find a gyrus. God, it's so good.
I love that game. It's so much fun. Music is so amazing. Fucking attract mode. I gotta say that it makes the garage so loud. It's awesome though.
The #1 game to travel to Uranus.
Yeah. It still makes me laugh each time. I'm like, ooh.
2 more planets to Uranus.
DK3 remix would be cool.
Yes.
Why would they change that though? I mean, Junior and DK are so obvious.
Well, I'm sure if Kowalski was willing to do it, I'd more than be love to be willing to help out with some brainstorming ideas.
So Kowalski actually joined 2 days ago, and they were actually having a thing with the where they were doing the dual screen, and they were doing a tournament with the remix boards. And I posted on that conversation. I said, "Any plans for DK3 remix?" And I think he's definitely going to do it.
Yeah. So Jacob, when I was doing the thing Saturday night, I accidentally did it on the regular Facebook, not on the Con Club at one of the times. And that's when, because I tweeted about it too, and Kowalski saw the tweet, so he was in the Facebook thing. And then I said, go check out Con Club. I'm going to switch over to there. And then that's when he signed up. And Clint, too, by the way, Clint Torres joined the Con Club also Saturday night. So it was Kowalski, Nina, and Clint, 3 new members Saturday night. So,
well, thank you for that. That was
absolutely,
that was very exciting.
Good time. Yep.
Did anybody else get any games?
I have made a deal for a game. I've made a deal for another
baby Pac-Man, right?
Mario Brothers. Fully working.
Mario Brothers dedicated wide body?
No, converted, but it's a 5-slot red cab. That's why I was asking about it earlier this week or a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
Where did you find that one at?
Actually, in an arcade.
Nice.
Down in Washington State.
Oh.
Yep.
You treated it like a shopping trip instead of going to play games. You're like, I'll take one of those and 3 of those. And
it's long. It's an arcade that I've been going to for, like, let's say, probably close to 3 years.
That's it.
And half the video games there have never worked.
Oh,
wow. They've got brand new pins like Walking Dead. They're putting the new Aliens one in. But, like, half of the video games have just never worked since I've gone there. And the person that runs the place isn't the owner. The people who own the arcade used to own the building and the arcade and the store. They sold to somebody else, but part of the deal was they get to keep their arcade there. So eventually, the new owner of the place, I got the phone numbers of the original people, and I've been calling them and talking to them in the past. And they weren't really ready to sell anything. That they were going to get it fixed, the monitors fixed one day, and they asked me if I wanted to fix them. And I said, well, kind of being from Canada and working in the U.S., it's kind of a iffy area. So I pointed to some Seattle guys that fix monitors, and apparently, I guess they never contacted those guys. And so everything's just been sitting there. Every time I go in, there's like more and more games are down. Because there's probably like 30 vids, and at least 15 of them are down. And they have, Jacob, they have DK1, DK Junior. They now have DK2. They have DK3. They have a Punch Out. Like they have, and like ever since day one, Donkey Kong Jr. Its screen just does this wavy. Yeah. The last 2 or 3 years, it's been like that, and it's like, oh my god. And so we just happened to be going. We do some shopping down in areas. So we popped in, and the Mario Brothers had a for sale sign on it because they just bought a brand new Mario I can't remember what it is. The Donkey Kong Jr., Mario Brothers, and whatever the third game, the newer one, the remakes. They bought a cabaret of it, so I guess they felt they didn't need the Mario Brothers anymore, so they put it up for sale.
Oh.
And so I talked to her on the phone. I called her. I said, "Hey, do you remember me?" And she's like, totally remembers. And I said, "Okay, well, I'll buy the Mario Brothers, but it'd be a lot more efficient for me if you had other games that you wanted to sell as well." And so she's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to talk to my husband. You're right. There are a lot of those games that have been working for a few years. We're kind of really wanting to fix them." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're buying all new pins now." And like I was talking to the guy there, and he said, "Nobody plays the old vids. Half of them are broken. They're not making any money. So, like, even to get someone to cap kit, it's going to be like what, $200, $250 for someone to fix them. That's 1,000 plays. To break even on just fixing the machines." Right. And she's like, "Well, yeah, I guess. Maybe I'll talk to my husband. Maybe we can get rid of some and put that towards some more pinball machines." So
I got to know, was there more than just Mario then in the long run?
That was the only one for sale. All the other Nintendos were working.
Yeah.
Other than the Donkey Kong Jr. being wavy. And I'm not.
Any plans to change the red cab to DK or keep it Mario Brothers?
I probably have a dozen plus Nintendo cabinets, so yeah, I will. I already have a wide body cabinet that's empty that I already have a converted Mario that I'm going to put into. So this is just a second one because it's there. It's really this was a buy because it's not a bad price, and it's more of an opening saying, hey, I'm ready to pay your prices for games if you want to sell me some more. So, basically trying to show that I'm serious about buying more games because they have like a Tempest Cabaret, they have a Marble Madness, which I already have now, but they had a Indiana Jones that was down, Tron that's down, Defender that was down, Star Wars Upright that was down. They had so many machines that were down, it's crazy. So we'll see. So that's what I got. I haven't picked it up yet because they're flooded in. Apparently, they can't get out of their house. So.
Oh, geez. This week, but I picked up a game last week. I got I alluded to it in the chat, but nobody picked up on it. I figured you guys are just like, oh my gosh.
I remember you hinting, yeah.
Yeah, I hinted. I'm like, okay, I was trying to do a little wordplay. I was talking about getting a new baby. I got a baby pack.
Yeah,
you did. Nice.
Yeah, she totally hinted that she got one.
It looked nice.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's the monitor desperately. My cap kit actually just shipped, so yay. Monitor, and then hopefully then be able to actually read what's going on because I just have like blue and pink on the screen, so it's
does the playfield pretty decent shape?
Anything. Yeah, the playfield's in really good shape. There's a couple of wear spots, but no, it's the whole thing is in really nice shape. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was home use only machine.
Really
I told him
yeah.
much earlier.
Yeah.
He's happy with his Centipede, and he said he doesn't have room anyway, so it's all good. We're all arcade bros. So
yeah, right.
I was like, oh dude, I got a confession. But no, he was totally gracious and very very kind about the whole thing. But
Craigslist buy or
no, it was an auction.
Oh, auction, cool.
Yeah, I just kind of got lucky. It was in amongst a bunch of art. And I ended up.
Was it eBay or not eBay?
Not eBay.
Oh
shit! I went to a physical location.
Oh, where you're like bidding
this game that.
Wow!
And bid on it.
You just happened to see it amongst everything else.
It was amongst a bunch of fine art.
Wow! Yeah, there was one of those on the island last weekend. I almost went to. There was a pinball machines and vids in just a regular old like police auction.
Huh.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This was the only. There was this in a slot machine. And those were about the closest, most related things. Other than that, it was like paintings and books and jewelry and things like that. There was actually a cool carousel horse. If I had tons of money and room, I'd be owning my
IPA.
So you had the right people bidding against you because they're probably all there for the art.
Exactly. Although it did, in fact, it did. It's funny. It did. There were definitely people bidding on it. It did not go for the opening bid of $100. Damn it. I was hoping. I was like, ooh. And I had no idea if it was working or not. It actually, other than the monitor being so awful that it's virtually unreadable, the video game plays when it goes to switch over to, so you go into the little escape. So when I can tell, because you can't see all the ghosts because of the colors. So I can see some of the ghosts. It makes it rather challenging to play. Because some of the ghosts, you discover you're at a ghost because you run into something and then you're dead. You're like, oh, that must have been a ghost. So when I've gone into the escape in order to go to the pinball wakes up, eject the ball. It does nothing activate. So the flippers will work. So I remove the ball and I can bat the ball around, but it's not scoring. The slingshots aren't activating. Nothing the coils aren't working. So something is not communicating with that board, but I can't run the error mode yet because I need to actually be able to read what's on the screen, and I can't do that. So once I get the monitor recapped, I'll have more knowledge. But yeah, it's in gorgeous shape. It's no water damage. I mean, it is. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to redo the CPO on it. It looks like somebody by the left-hand side had a cigarette or something that probably.
There's pretty good repro parts out there for them. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the side art is actually great.
Nice.
That's the only part I'm going to need to do. The marquee, the bezel, beautiful, beautiful shape. So I just ordered the CPO.
Well, the one I sold at CAX just a few weeks prior to that, I didn't even complete the LED conversion, but that made a huge difference. I mean,
interesting.
You got to do the lighting right, but
yeah,
it just seems so drab and just kind of blue colors. But once you brighten it up, like because they're lit from underneath a lot of the inserts. Mm-hmm. Right, to make the blues and greens pop, man, it just looked so much better after doing that. Spend $50, it makes a huge difference. So yeah. And then the only other thing I can talk about with Baby Pack is it's a known issue is the
video board.
I think it has to do with the power supply, the Alltech MPU.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what they call it. It's $200-ish, but I think it's one of those that gets the leakage and acid damage stuff.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know any way how to check if it's bad on yours.
Yeah.
Mine was already replaced before I got mine, so I just know I remember seeing and reading a lot of people talking about that's a common failure point. And it relates to the Vidiot board or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm hoping the self-test mode will tell, or the test mode will tell me something once I'm able to do that. So once I get the monitor dealt with, I'll have more information. Worst case scenario.
My Baby Pack when I picked it up was the opposite. It was fully working. Everything looked great, but the sides. Someone ripped the side art off and painted it black.
Weird.
Why would anybody do that? It's really.
Yeah, what are you going to convert it to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen 2 Baby Packs converted into
multi-cades or something.
No, into Punch Out.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 of them.
Yeah. It was in one of the barn warehouse raids that I've been to.
Huh.
So they put a monitor down below or something.
Down below where the playfield was. Yep.
Weird.
Kept the upper one there and then put another one down below. Yeah, there was 2 of them in the same barn. Those ones just kind of make you cry.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's such a pretty. I mean, it's a really cool looking cabinet. It's very pretty.
I actually enjoy it. I think it's. It gets frustrating sometimes, but I think it's a fun game still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this one working.
Now, are you going to call it a pin or are you going to call it a video game?
Oh, I would call it a video game.
See, I call it a pin.
Hybrid.
Mostly because I only have like 5 or 6 pins, so to boost up my pin collection, you have to add it to the pin collection.
Ah, got it. So what is? But what does how do they classify it on Clove?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
That can be
that's a good question. Like, what do you get?
Maybe they're both.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be no fair.
or is it on pin side?
It is on pin side, but a lot of things are on pin side.
Yeah.
Because they have things that are beyond just.
Maybe Pac-Man is considered a pinball enclave.
Oh, it is. Oh, well, then there you go. Guess I got me another.
And I would say, just like any vid or really pin too, they've gone up a lot in value in the last 2-3 years. So, yeah, people used to say, "Oh, that's $600-800." Nope, not even close anymore.
Yeah, I got mine for cheaper than that even, but that was a while back now. So there you go, pinball.
Yeah.
Probably because real estate wise, the pinball machine takes up more space than the video does.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice. Well, we're all being quiet. Are we
Yeah.
Are we getting towards the end here?
We might be getting towards the end.
I picked up one, and I was playing earlier, but y'all weren't paying attention.
Well, I was wondering where those Twilight Zone noises were coming from, but I couldn't tell. Is that what you got?
I didn't want to speak because I didn't want Jimmy to yell at me.
I thought that it was. Well, I thought maybe Mock was playing something in like on some sort of virtual Mamie kind of thing. Let's see.
He's there, but he's not there.
Yeah, so he's sprawled out on the floor.
He's sick still. Yeah. Oh, I already knew that.
Right, present him.
I already knew that one, Buffett, last week.
You did, but not everybody else did.
Not everybody else. Look at this.
Yeah, that's great.
That looks like it's a nice
Sherry,
shape.
you have one, don't you?
I do. I love that game.
Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely love that game.
But,
yeah. That's one of my pins too. I have it.
So, Buffett, do you care to share some backstory? Was that a Craigslist pickup? Was it a trade? Was it a?
It was a trade.
Okay, nice.
Did you get her fully working, Buffett?
All but the clock.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't have the clock working yet, but the rest of it I do.
Don't touch the door. Don't touch the door. Don't touch the door.
I've been working on it. I gotta. Let's see. Where's my?
I'm stepping into the Twilight Zone.
Here.
Does he play that song?
What have I done to it? I can read off the repair log so far if you want to hear it.
Dude, you got a credit dot. That must be your clock.
Yeah, it probably is. Let's say if y'all want to hear the repair log, I can read it off to you.
Yeah, what you do?
So I've totally stripped it down and waxed and washed the playfield. Cleaned most all the playfield pieces. All new rubber on it. I just got Titan rubbers on it. I made a custom rubber, so it's got all different colors all over it. Because I cannot stand black and white and pink rubbers. I cannot stand them. I repaired the opto board. There was 2 resistors open on it. I reflowed all the PCBs in the back box. Reflowed all the PCBs under the playfield. I had to align the gumball machine. That was kind of a pain in the ass. Don't ever try to take that out while it's in the machine. You have to take the backboard and everything off and the ramp and everything. That's a pain in the ass. Replaced all the 0.156 headers on the big driver board, solenoid board in the back box. Put caps on all the PCBs in the game. 2 of them were leaking actually onto the playfield. So if you have a Twilight Zone, the optical board and the clock board, change that 100. Those both, I think they're both 100 UF at 35s. I think make sure you change them because they leak and it kills the board. I got acid damage all over it. Yeah, so you might want to do that, Gary. Let's see here. I had to fix a bunch of switches around the game. I fixed the kick-out trough. It had broken loose. It's still broken, but I got it rigged in a way that it works great without modifying anything. Replaced some of the bulbs. Replaced the one of the under the playfield, the latches on the spring latches. They're the springs on the latch. One of them was missing. Replaced the 2 release nuts. I was missing one, so what I did is I went out and got a 3/8 threaded. What they used to put like all thread and stuff together. I got 2 of those and put them in there. They work great. Let's see. I repinned the optical board header, or repinned the optical board connector and 2 of the power board, power connector for the solenoid board, and one of the other connectors in there. I forget what it goes to. And so far, that's what I got. That's what I've done to it.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of work, I'll tell you.
Wow. That is. Oh, that's awesome though.
Yeah, and then
How long have you had it?
2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Something like
I was
that.
gonna say, if you've only had like a week or less, man, that's a serious amount of rebuild already.
Yeah, I still need. I want a bunch of the mods. I've already been looking them up. You know, of course, that costs money, so they're all optional, of course. But I don't have the upper ramp protector so it keeps the ball from flying out of the ramps. The plastic ramp. It didn't come with it, so I got that, the playfield protector, and some of the plastic protectors on the way from Germany, from that company that does them out there. The shooter spring in it is way too strong. You can barely even do the skill shot. It is so strong. Let's see. I need to replace a couple of the coils. I think the one for the slot machine is overpowered because it launches the ball out of the slot machine, it wore through the Mylar, through the playfield, so I can see the wood underneath in the spot. That's how fast it kicks it out. I need to do all the coil sleeves. I need to get LEDs when I can. I want to do the pop bumper LEDs because they're really cool. I need to rebuild all the flippers. I need to put leg protectors on it. I need new instruction cards because the ones on here are crap. They printed them and then glued them on. I don't know why.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I got to strip all that off. I really want to get the low profile playfield switches. So that way you don't see a bunch of those all those gray condoms all over the place on that mini playfield. It opens it up so you can see it. I need to put Cliffies on it. I need to get those. I have the clock board, but I don't have it in yet because if you take that apart and don't align it correctly, it will cause all kinds of problems. And then also, Carrie, the other thing that you need to do is on yours, if you look to the left of the slot machine, you got that yellow target on it.
Okay.
That usually gets bent back. And because the reason that is because the bracket that holds the switch is very weak. The Pinball Resource sells a switch that is beefy in an L shape, so it doesn't does not get bent back. Because when it gets bent back, the ball hits the scoop there for the slot machine, and that's what breaks the welds on the left. So you have to get it welded back together.
Okay.
Is because the ball hits it because that target gets bent back, and that target's the protector for that ramp.
Oh, interesting.
For that scoop, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
And who said who sells that?
That's the Pinball Resource. I can send you a part number. Just remind me.
That'd be cool. Yeah. And whatever that, and if you could also say which caps it was. Your audio actually kind of cut out a little bit when you were talking about that earlier about the ones that are going to leak.
Oh,
yeah.
There's the optical board underneath that runs all the optos on the mini play field and around the regular part of the play field. There's an opto board, and that cap leaked. It pretty much ate off the LED, and it caused 2 of the resistors to go open. And when it did that, it was giving me a ground short error, which is really odd because you can't ground short something when it's open. But apparently that's what it gives as far as the error code goes. So that'll drive you for a loop. You'd think, one of your switches, your diodes or something was bad, causing a dead short to ground. Nope. It was 2 open resistors. That was a little trick to find. But that board and the one that runs the clock, I think they're both 100 UF at 35, I believe, caps on there. I have them, of course, here. But you need to get those off and make sure if they've already started to leak, neutralize those boards. So that way they don't, it doesn't take them out. Because, you can buy new ones, but why would you want to spend, between 70 and 150 bucks for nothing? For the price of, 250-cent caps. Good Lord. So, that's kind of dumb. But yeah, you want to get those done. And then if you have not recapped all the boards in the back box, I suggest you do. Because they'll go bad. And the big filter caps back there, they're the ones that help in the regulation circuit for all of your voltages. And they're all, let's see, what's the value on them? 15,000 UF at 25 volts. So if you need help finding them, I have some, or I can get them for you if you need help getting them.
Hook me up. All right, cool. Thank you.
So
I honestly haven't done anything when they break.
Yeah, no.
Other than that, I haven't touched it. It wasn't broken. I didn't do any kind of bulletproofing. So This is gonna be handy with you having one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Congrats on the grab, Buffett. Man, I'm jealous. Both you guys have Twilight Zones. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's been on my want list for a long, long time. I don't know how long it's been on yours, but
Buffett, there's a couple cheap mods you can get for it. One's the magnet. I don't know if you have that yet.
I have one that was already on there and it came loose and fell off, so I need to epoxy it back on the diverter.
Okay.
I have
the
that.
other one is the convertible with the LEDs as headlights.
Yep.
That thing's like $75 to $100, like online. You can buy that exact car on eBay for $5.
Right.
And then you can just put your own LEDs in it. That's what I did to mine.
Right. Yeah, there's a bunch of mods. Like I'd like to have the Robbie the Robot mod. I'd like to have the Talking Tina mod. I'd like to have the pyramid mod that goes around the mini playfield usually. I'd like to have the car. I'd like to have the 2 lamp posts. I'd like to have the lit up the light posts mods. I'd like to have those.
Upgraded piano.
I want the piano mod. I need to get some marbles to put back in my gumball machine, so it looks like gumballs in there.
Right. So you lost your marbles?
Yeah, I lost my marbles. I want to get the low profile switches for the mini play field. I want to get the ramp mod, the shooter lane mod, to where when you shoot the ball, it actually trails a set of lights up that small red protector or red plastic there. It actually follows the ball as you launch it. I want to get that mod. I'd like to get the TV eventually. I want to get the camera.
You basically want all of them, is what you're saying.
I want a lot of them. Yes, I'd like the car. Like
double the price of the pin that you bought for the mods.
Yeah.
So yes, I've done a lot of research on the mods.
I mean, it's a super complex game as it is. I mean, just
It's
stock out
toys
the
for your
box
toy.
is so fun.
Yeah. No, it just the mods don't, like I say, they don't really do much of anything other than they just make it look, it just increases the looks on it. Now, some people think it's gaudy, and that's all well and cool. You gaudy up your machine is all you want, and it's my machine. I'll do what I want with it. But I don't ever plan on reselling it, so that's what I want it to look like.
Yeah, make it what you want it to be. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like the one lamp that I want for the game, it looks like it has the lamp post just like the one on the play field. Problem is it's like $175. That's what I've seen it go for. So yeah, it's nutty stupid, but it looks really nice. So I don't know if I'm
those
gonna have
mods
that
are
one.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So, and then there's the spinning spiral that you can put up there and, on somewhere. And then you got the eyeball mod where you can, they've got, I don't know if they move or not, but I mean, there's 2 eyeballs that you can mount around in there somewhere and, all kinds of stuff. It's a lot to do for it, and I need some new plastics. All mine are yellow or brown or burnt from the light bulb or broken. There's like 3 or 4 of them that are broken. So I need new plastics, but that's another $150, $175, investment that I don't have. So I will just live with broken plastics for now. But I'd like to install the 3rd magnet, but I don't know if I ever will. I'd like to under the playfield. Yeah, it's got 2 of them, but I'd like to put the 3rd one in eventually. The other thing I'd like to do, the other mod that was on the prototypes was, where gum and ball are in the door.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, in the prototype they had 2 flashers that went there behind those. And if you open up your playfield and you look, the 2 holes at least are in mine, in that board, along with the mounting holes in that circuit board. They're already there, so all you have to do is put the board and stuff back in it. So
yeah, and I saw that they do sell that.
Yeah, so I'd like to put that back because it would make it spice up the door a little bit, when you actually have gum and ball besides them just being on, so it brings your attention to throw it around to the gumball machine. So, but yeah, the game you can also get, I don't know if I'll do it or not, but there's a home ROM that you can get that changes the number of balls on the game to 7 instead of 6.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a ROM swap. But I don't know how many.
That's cheating.
Yeah. But I don't know what yours has in it, Carrie, but it says it's a 6-ball game in the manual. Well, I'm actually running 7 balls in mine now without the ROM, and it plays a lot smoother. It loads 4 of them into the gumball and 3 into the trough below. So it never ever. So beforehand, I don't know if yours does this or not. If you're running 6 balls, it would always eject one out of the gumball machine, and you would have 4 down into the playfield. So I don't know why it would do that. I don't know if it was just looking for it or not, but I put 7 in mine, including the Powerball, and it doesn't cycle that ball anymore.
Huh.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know,
I
should have 7 in it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So, but yeah, I still have a lot to do to it. You know, as far as just not mod wise, I still have a lot to do to make it correct. And then putting the playfield protector on like I did my Doctor Who, because I'm never going to get rid of the game, and I really don't want the playfield getting any more worn than it is in, you know, some areas. So when I go to tear it all down again, and do not necessarily the mods, you can do them at most any time, but when I go to tear it down and clean it up again, I'll have that protector and I'll put it on at that time. So that way I never have to worry about playfield wear again. Yeah. So because in the back where the ball's been, you know, throws around those back ramps and on the plastic ramp and stuff like that, plastic ramp is still going to get dirty, but the back ramp where the ball has been running around all this time, there's a permanent black line around there that you can see.
Yeah.
You know, I took it and scrubbed it with mill wax for a while, and then I scrubbed it with Novus for a while, and I couldn't get it out. So maybe next time when I do it, I might take a Dremel or something and use a buffing wheel and see if I can clean it out a little better. You know, next time before I put the protector down, because once you put it down, you can't get to it anymore unless you strip the whole playfield off again. And I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. So anymore.
No, well, it's looking great. That is fantastic. Congratulations on that score. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
I should have said, that earlier I almost said, all right, who's playing Twilight Zone? But I just figured it was some sort of like somebody was doing something on their computer. That is awesome.
Yeah, I was wondering if y'all heard it or not. I didn't want to make it too loud, you know. Yeah. So
I have to admit, I'm sorry I didn't mute you when that happened. But
the first time nobody did, but the second time I saw somebody did.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But that's what I said. I wasn't trying to make it too obnoxious, you know, because you guys were talking, but I was trying to hint that I got something, you know. But hey, I don't know. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Like I say, still a lot to do.
Yeah.
You know, not mod wise. And for some reason or another, I have to adjust it with the leg levelers, but it has 3 legs of one size, one length, and 1 shorter leg. It's really weird.
Somebody lost a leveler and swapped it.
Scoliosis.
Yeah, one leg's like a ½ inch shorter or whatever than the rest.
They knocked off like, you know, $300 value because of that, right?
Yeah. So, but and of course I want a color DMD for it, but it's another $400 and $450.
That's gorgeous.
Maybe Carrie will send both of us one for Christmas.
Maybe.
There you go. One could hope it would fit in your stocking.
Absolutely.
Only if Carrie hits the lotto. Or I should say, only if my mother hits the lotto and then she shares with me, because I don't actually play. But she does occasionally, so I have hope. Because if she wins, I win. So I root her on.
Right. Now,
spend that buck, Mom.
Do you just get the standard rubber for yours, Carrie? The white or black or whatever? Nothing fancy?
Yeah, actually, mine had already been changed over to the white.
Okay. Now,
so I didn't have to do anything on that.
Right. Now, if you ever go and need to put new rubber on any of your games, I personally like Titan rubbers. They have really good color selection.
I've heard that most people do.
Of course you do.
Yeah, right.
But,
It's a color shot.
It's right up there with Magnum.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Magnum, you're Titan.
Such a cliche.
But yeah,
The
Titan.
smaller ones are too tight.
Yeah, that's it. Titan pinball. You know, they have a large rubber selection and colors for different things. And they're more of a silicone-based type, so they don't.
I'm more of a thimble rubber kind of guy.
But
Like
what
little finger turn the page reader.
But what's nice about them is if you need to clean them off, all you got to do is take a little bit of a cloth and a little bit of white or a little bit of water, and you can clean them off.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is nice.
Yeah. So and they last longer.
Just keep it going.
But their lifespan is a lot longer, and they're just they're just really nice. So I like the way they bounce. I like how they protects the game.
I usually coat them with a Novus Astroglide first.
Okay.
Is it a 1, 2, or a 3?
Yeah. It depends on the night if I want a little more friction or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'm glad we were at least able to end it on a dirty rubber night. Dirty rubber contest, exactly.
You get a lot of play out of them, put it that way.
Yeah.
Use them over and over and over. They bounce right back.
All right, so are we wrapping this tonight or what?
I think we're wrapping it.
I
At least
took
I'm
my glasses
fading.
off. Everything's super blurry.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been wearing them for the last 3 hours.
Might be you, might be the camera.
All right, I'm going to do a few thank yous real quick for people. All right. So, Jacklick, it was cool seeing him. We had a couple of new guys tonight. I think it was their first time. Chaz out of Texas, I think. Hopefully we'll get him on one night. I want to see how he is live in person. Seems like an interesting character. And Brandon, he goes by Junior Pack. Carrie, you may have met him. I'm not sure. Really cool guy. So I was really shocked to see him in the chat. Like, all right, cool. I guess we're expanding to new. Let's see who else. We had Chuck 12, Gus, Frober, of course. Love you, buddy. We need to hopefully meet up in San Diego next year. Who else? Am I missing anybody?
World Numismatics.
He just posted.
I don't know who that is. But he's talking pins, so I mean, he's talking color DMD. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, is this one of Orange Roast's Reddit buddies?
No. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so powder coat the legs.
It's one of our
World
Reddit buddies.
Numismatics. Right?
Yeah, nice.
And Slick Nick was in there, Frizzle Fried, Dave Elope. Hadn't seen him in a while. So, yeah.
Gus
Good times, guys. Gus,
Yeah,
Jack Beck mentioned him. So, yeah. Good times. Astro Blaster is the game of next week.
Some Astros are going to be blasted.
Yeah, yes. The Novus brand Astro Blaster. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. Good times, guys.
All right, we're done. This was an odd one, guys.
Jimbo was cut out a little early, so we didn't get to any of the sound effects here at the end. So, good night. Farewell. So long.
Farewell.
Yeah. Yes, there we go.